It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller, for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 jet. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18, Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the ball y'all do. Let's go out and kick some tail. All right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play.
B right, all the way outside. Y left, fake, 396 bag. B hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid.
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
And Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Good morning, early risers, insomniacs, and friends of the Huddle. Welcome into the Thursday edition of the program that you are finding out that you can't live without. Drew Olson, Billy Schmid, Armen Sarian bringing it to you live from headquarters today. And we're on the back end of the dinosaur for our sports week, our work week. We've made it to Thursday, folks. Give yourselves a little round of applause, a little appreciation for making it to Thursday in the good land. And thanks for listening to us on 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app. And we are firing up the stream right now, YouTube, X, and Facebook. Plenty to unpack today, but our long national nightmare is over. We can eat pasta and pizza again without regard because the Italians took care of business last night.
Yes.
And the United States will advance in the World Baseball Classic.
Thank you, Team Paisan. Man, that was nasty. Vinny Pasquantino, he can fire up that espresso machine in any visiting clubhouse he wants after that 3-tater game yesterday. That was impressive. And also more fun to just watch. That team has themselves some fun. Now, if there's any group that you do anticipate, because Mark DeRosa did say, boys are coming in a little slow this morning. They're creeping in here. I imagine when you get some of the better guys in all of ball in different groups that have never met, but now they are putting together and putting it on for one common goal. I assume there's a number of bottles of wine being taken down by Team Paisan last night, because I don't know if it was a calzone or a nice 18-inch thin crust, but they were able to celebrate right last night with that offensive performance.
Maybe something wood fired. They got to be starting to believe. I mean, man, the way they've been playing, the way they've been winning, and I think crisis averted would be the best way to describe what's going on there in that situation. They saved the U.S., and I'm going to imagine Mark DeRosa sleeping a little easier last night than he did the night before.
Did we ever get anything definitive? First of all, did he show up on MLB Network?
I don't think so.
I didn't see any clips. I'm assuming he did it.
I don't believe so. They completely scrubbed the video off any of their digital sites. But I assume it'll be on this morning.
What's that?
I bet it'll be on this morning.
Well, they're playing on Friday now. They'll be playing on Friday. They'll play tomorrow. So the U.S. advances, kind of moonwalked in, but that's all right. They're in. That's all that matters. Debacle averted. But if he indeed, again, no one corrected him. When did he know that they needed to win? Because they didn't play the front line guys.
Not at all. Not at all.
That they lost to Italy. And were you thinking that we'd already punched our ticket? Did everybody think that? Did no one know the tournament rules?
I would just like to know if you're Mason Miller out in the bullpen. You're arguably the best relief pitcher in baseball, and you're just sitting there like, hey man, all due respect to Ryan Yarborough and his family, but shouldn't I be in here if we can't give up any more runs? Right? Maybe don't we want to slam the door a little bit? And then once he gets Kershaw up, that might have been the time for Andy Pettit or something, or David Ross. Again, the only guy that's actually managed a big league game is David Ross.
That's a good point.
And he's out in the bullpen. He's getting the call like, D-Row, you sure?
Yeah.
You sure, Clayton? I mean, we're already down 5-0. I don't know that we need this to go any worse.
I saw that being, starting to be a tentacle of the discussion afterwards. So we're like, well, Mark's not really a manager. He's just a guy on TV. Why did we put him in there in the first place? And when people started getting upset. However, guys, and you know this, and it's true, Now that they've kind of gotten through this little stumble and they caught a break. Okay, deep breath, crisis averted. They go on now to win the whole thing. We're never, we won't remember it. Well, we might remember it, but it'll be the ending to the story will be complete, and all that matters is winning it all. But we'll see what happens now. I can guarantee you this: Mr. DeRosa is going to be putting out the Navy SEALs lineup now next game.
Yeah.
There's no more messing around after what happened there. Like, all right, everybody in. Everybody's playing right now. All the Armens of the world. Take your, enjoy your Gatorade, enjoy the uniform, put it on. You're not going to be seeing the field much more. Your time's done, guys.
Sorry, Paul Goldschmidt.
All the walk-ons, your time's done. I mean, not walk-on, but you know what I'm saying. Your time's done, yes. So, yeah, I would imagine David Ross is the manager, experienced manager on that, group.
He's the furthest one away from any of the decisions being made.
And that's the thing about it. Well, I wonder who's getting closer now. It's like, all right, guys, I'm going to need all your help now.
All right, David's going to have to come on here in the bench coach role.
Yeah,
that's right.
Let's shift and cut and crack. And let's
cut and crack, baby. Cut and crack. That's all we do. So, of course, we watched that game and okay, what happened to Mexico? Are they doing some soul searching?
Oh, yeah.
I would think so. Now, this has got to be hard for them to take because they take a lot of pride in their baseball.
Italy's a wagon.
Yeah. Now
Italy moves on.
And they also they didn't pitch well, they didn't hit well. And Mexico and Cuba might have been the two most disappointing groups in the World Baseball Classic. Luckily, we can say that. Luckily, we get to say that because we sneaked right through. And I don't know about you guys as well while I was watching the game. It took me a good inning and a half until I ultimately did the math and I'm like, wait a second. Oh, this is over. It's 6-0. So there's no chance. I had that good settling moment when everybody else was already celebrating on live for a good 25, 30 minutes where the light bulb turned on. And I'm like, oh, sweet,
Billy,
it's over.
It came to Billy that he cashed the over. Like you didn't realize that you were already
on the group play,
you're in the mix. Like you didn't, most of the time your computer is like, oh, we only need a couple more. Like, oh. I can't believe that you didn't register that.
Oh, the computer was malfunctioning yesterday quite a bit because earlier in the day, now it didn't matter because Venezuela got Dominican later in the night. You want to talk about a party?
Yeah.
That is an absolute party watching the Dominican Republic team play baseball. Most importantly, hit. Because those at bats are different levels. But I did the wrong math on the Puerto Rico Canada deal where all of a sudden they raced by and won on the point. Or the run differential is the tiebreaker for two teams and head-to-head. But those two teams ended up having themselves a battle with a three-team tie, and they turned into run differential. I was like, wait a second. Oh, I ended up losing that when I realized about 5 hours later. So the computer was malfunctioning last night. It made sense why we ended up catching a whole lot of L's. They have to get better at it today by the time we get down for the winning edge at Potawatomi.
So your quarterfinals, Puerto Rico versus the Red Hot Italians, the Italians.
It's going to be a great one, yeah.
Venezuela, Japan.
That's going to be fun.
So good.
Boys. Korea against the Dominican, and then the rematch of all rematches, United States against Canada.
Oh, man. Now, if we lose this one, wouldn't that be the ultimate?
Oh, after it'd be payback for the hockey.
They would be
double dip in hockey, and if Canada beats us at our own game,
if Canada
be a little bit like us winning in gold medals twice.
Exactly.
Correct. Well, and their team's also better than I had thought.
It's pretty good. Yeah,
it's a pretty decent squad. When you started looking at it. Now, it's not what Captain America and the Avengers are apparently bringing out here, but let's just make sure. I do wonder if the orange slices are done. Right, like
that's what I'm saying.
But we got some big time egos on that team, right? Like, isn't part of the sell job? Hey, if you're leaving your team for 2.5 weeks, we're going to make sure it's worth your while. We're going to make sure you get your run in here, Gunnar Henderson, and it might not be Bryce Terang and Bobby Witt Jr. up the middle every single time. I wonder if they got to do that, or if Bryce Harper says, "Hey, Skip, I'm not missing any more at bats. All right, write me in the 3-hole, and let's just forget about this for now."
Right.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, on paper, you think, okay, you should beat these teams, but you guys know how baseball works in a small, short set. There's no such thing as one game, this and that. So, or samples or rosters, it's one game. So you're right, Billy. And I don't know, man, with old Justin Moore, no hitting coach for that Canada roster, they got some guys. So it's definitely, obviously we all think we should win this one, but Canada thought they should win in hockey. So it's one of those things where, you don't want them to have the victory lap now on this. I'm sure. Maybe there aren't as many eyes as there was on the hockey final and the gold medal game, but let's take care of business. And hopefully that was
let's just give us good entertainment.
Yeah, hopefully that was the spark under the butt the USA Team USA needed to roll up here and maybe put up like a 10 spot or some crooked number.
Now we're
Take
talking.
care of business. Let's
Sounds
go.
good. 877-794-1973. Your ticket to interact with us. The comments already starting on the YouTube stream, which we love. Little side discussions. And we made it 11 minutes, but it's counterbalanced. The joy that we feel of the U.S. advancing is offset by the defeat suffered at Madison Square Garden by Armen's beloved Marquette Golden Eagles.
Oh, what a
Marquette
bummer.
was at Armen was at the Admirals game, right?
Yeah,
you were
yeah.
presiding over the Jumbotron and hanging out with Matt Miller, another friend of the program.
Indeed.
And you guys, so you didn't get to, I imagine, see it live. I watched it, Billy. I watched it unfold.
Yep.
5:30 tip, caught some at the just a very, very small sliver of it at Potawatomi Sportsbook. I was able to stop there before went down to the arena. Caught some at the arena a little bit there, but wasn't able to lock in for 2 hours on it, but was able to catch some. But yeah, kind of a bummer. They had shown a lot of growth in this calendar year, obviously. I would say Marquette, after the terrible start, really played like a top maybe 50 team the last month or two, had the big win against UConn, showed growth. And, the great news yesterday was Nigel James being named Freshman of the Year and affirming his commitment to Marquette for the future, which is a rare in this day and age.
It is rare because he there's a lot of dollar signs dancing in his head.
Definitely buoyed by
The
that.
thing
But
is,
both teams shot well. Both teams played offense well, and put up a lot of points.
Pretty
100
evenly
points second half.
matched squads.
Good
I
game.
would
It was
say.
tied, with a minute to go. Marquette just couldn't get it done.
It was one of those games where Xavier just made a couple more plays, hit some free throws. But
Free throws are
I
big
also
part.
watch, and as much as there is to love about Nigel James Jr., right? You live by the freshman, you die by the freshman. He made some plays. He kept them in the game. He's the only reason they're in the game.
Correct. Yep.
But then he made some plays, a couple of plays down the stretch that got caught with his freshman showing a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say
Go
18,
the right way.
19-year-old was definitely a part of that last.
I mean, you
minute
can't
and a half
be mad at him,
right? No.
but there was a couple of possessions that, he little bit, the motor was going a little heavy.
And
Insane.
you're right. And Drew, I also think like there's a good balancing act there. And you've seen it so much where the eyes are just going to take over for a cat. And like, you want to see a young player have that kind of just insane confidence and self-belief.
Yes.
But yeah, there's some lessons to be learned there. And luckily you'll hopefully be able to see more.
A huge steal and then a 2-on-1, and he makes a kind of a lazy sort of pass that gets
Weak
broken.
pass,
Great
yep.
play.
Yep.
Great play by the defensive player. But it was like, all right, we got to convert there. We can't turn that one over. And that was a pivotal inflection point
in a game that's going to come down to one or two plays.
Exactly.
So there were
that
a
was
couple
it.
plays. Yep. And then, but again, like the last possession, like his last bucket is
That and1 that he had.
And when he turns the corner, he's something to watch. And I'm happy like that. You got him coming back. You got optimism for the next year.
Yeah, dynamic, explosive player, and it was great news for a lot of Marquette fans to hear that, because that had been, the number one thing was, can you keep these guys together, because they were the bright spot this year.
And
for Marquette.
that will calm down. At least some people might put aside the pitchforks and torches for Shaka.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't think many really had him out, at least around the program did, but there were some, of course, side-eyed saying they got always some, of course.
The bitter folks. I mean, again, it's uncharted territory to have a gap year the way they had and lose 20.
Sure.
Oh, big time.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you see like number 7 Marquette like on the screen, like 7 and 10, or like, you expect that to be the national ranking, not the Big East ranking.
It was
right?
definitely different than what Marquette fans have been used to. Well, but the one thing you'd say is that, like, if relationship business is what Shaka was in, and he tried the whole deal with the no portal, this was this is the fruits of that labor, right? That you do maintain a relationship with a guy. He loves the program.
This is the point that you're waiting for the fruits.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But
this is the time where you got to water the bamboo and you're not watching it grow at all. Where you got to be consistent with what you do. You can't necessarily break your style of mold, because that fruit is not going to go right now. You're not going to see anything good from that.
Yeah, but I would say the advantage of what you did is you have a guy like Nigel James that said, I'm not even going to test the waters. I've enjoyed the program so much. I'm sure he's going to get broken off in NIL. He's going to get some money, obviously. They're going to take care of him. And, that's where it's like, okay, that part of it paid off. But you're right, Billy. Now it's important for him to stay consistent, even through whatever portal additions they want to try and make. So Marquette, looking at the future, it's going to be him, Stevens. You look at Royce Parham. You have a foundation there for the future. Like you said, kind of those growing pains as a young freshman. You saw some of them last night, but that's the future for Marquette right now, is that backcourt and hopefully whatever additions they can make in the portal.
Yeah.
So it's onward for Marquette now, and a very important offseason for them to look and try and figure out, okay, how can we get this thing turned around and back on track?
Do you think more teams are going to have to be okay with the gap year in college sports?
I think so.
I mean,
it's and not just like the Marquettes of the world, but like the Alabamas in football. Like everybody,
100%.
Everybody's going to have like, all right, didn't go our way. The cycle didn't, because
you're going to miss on the amount of transfers that you're bringing in, right? Like you're not always going to hit home runs on those guys coming in.
Well, even like, all right, so look at, say you're USC football or something like that, right?
Yep.
It's like, all right, we're losing. It's like, oh, we got our 5th running back out there, because you need they're getting to be like pro teams, right? They're playing heavy schedules. They're getting to, and where depth and attrition has to be baked in. You have to have like, not just, we always joked at Alabama, like the guys who were dressed and like were wearing duplicate numbers were McDonald's All-Americans and parade
100%.
All-Americans and 5-star recruits, right?
Could have won the ACC probably with their second
But it's
squad.
not, these days now it's getting spread out more. The cash is going to level the playing field in many ways. And so now there are, I think, it's going to be baked in. And good coaches,
100%.
programs are going to have patience that they didn't have in the past.
1,000%.
They're going to have to develop the patience, because why throw, like it was Shaka. Like, all right, we lost 20. Get him. Who's
Get him
next?
out of here.
Or do you ride it out and look at the total body of work and look at the culture that he's developed, and then say, well, okay, that was a gap year, and now with the scars that we took and the bullets we took this year, we'll be better next year. It's going to take some vision in the athletic offices and among boosters.
Yes.
And patience that hasn't existed at the highest levels of college sports in a long time.
Which the patience word is not in the dictionary for big time boosters in sports. They don't like it.
Because
but to the point, like, I mean, look at Alabama, and you're hearing so many people Alabama football say, well, I don't get it. I don't see it. Kalen DeBoer is just not going to be Saban. Well, I'm mind blown. I think we should hit that reporting desk, because you just can't hoard talent like you used to be able to where if you had 3 guys go down, you didn't lose in football 5 games or so. You didn't lose 15 games in college basketball, but you're just going to see way too much volatility, even with the Kentuckys and the Blue Bloods all over the place. You're going to see Louisville miss tournaments left and right. You're going to see different teams struggle, I think, year in and year out to have that consistency.
And you just can't count on guys growing with your program anymore. It might happen in certain cases, and you have to do things to make sure it happens, like, re-recruit them all the time, reinvest in them, obviously with money, but also with, your time, your care, your coaching, the way that they're being managed when they're already on campus. You can't count on that anymore. So it used to be something you could always quote, say, okay, freshmen, sophomore, these guys are going to be here. They're going to grow with the program. That's not a given anymore. So that's a challenge. But the problem is, I think there's going to be less patience amongst boosters and fan bases than ever before, because the way they see it as, look, we shouldn't have any down years anymore, because now we have the ability to improve our team every year with the portal. So there's no excuse to have a down year. There's no patience in a recruiting cycle. There's none of that. So I think figuring out that imbalance is going to be one of the most interesting things going forward for college teams and fan bases. Because you made the joke about Saban, but he's not killing DeBoer, but Alabama fans feel, well, they should have the Nick Saban every year. They should have the best college coach, the best team, and the best program all the time. That's just the way they feel.
Well, and the idea that like you'll just pay the buyout, Drew, and get him out of here, guys. Right? You said it. Lose 20 games. All right, grease him. Let's get somebody else in here. Now it's all right. Instead of paying that $8 million buyout, what if we put the $8 million in to players?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, but that's the interesting part, where you can do that. So can every other team in America. Doesn't mean everybody's doing it, and doesn't mean the great teams still won't be great. But I do think, Drew, it's going to lean in even more on coaching, especially in basketball, where like Jerome Tang, they spent every single dollar possible at Kansas State. Didn't matter, because they still didn't have the 5'8" guard that was hitting every single game winner that made him a bunch of money and got a bunch of boosters in. I still think it's going to be the great coaches like Calvin Sampson at Houston. Now, they got resources. They got money, no doubt about it. They're always near the top 5. It wouldn't surprise me if within the next 2 years, they got a year where they're an 8 seed, because it just doesn't break way.
That's right. And this is our first, we still got our training wheels on here with the Huddle. And this is our first foray that we're done at 8 a.m. And as we head into March Madness and you've got basketball to watch in the afternoon, it's not the worst thing in the world, right? Got the Badgers playing this afternoon in the Big Ten tournament. But yesterday was Yesterday was my old man yells at cloud moment. Like I got the Big East tournament on. I'm like, found it on Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I want to switch around. Like, where are the other games? Shut that down.
Good luck.
Fire up the other thing. Like it's jumping from app to app, making it a pain in the ass to be a fan. Why can't we have nice things? Why can't we have just one format where I can flip around and have it all be under, and I can hit the back button and go back to
umbrella.
a game? Yes. That just sucks. So today, I guess Badgers are on Big Ten Network, but that's split
PTN, yep.
between like CBS or Fox, or I don't even know. Like,
well, that's the tough part, Drew. Like, at least when the conference is on one channel, I can go appointment style on that one. I kind of forgot about the Big East on Peacock. I kind of thought it was going to be on True TV or TNT. Yeah, so that messed me up. It took me about 3 months into the college basketball season to realize that the Peacock game gets aired on this super special NBC Sportsnet that I have on YouTube TV, because I was doing the exact same thing. Like, well, damn, I'm not even going to watch this game right now. Exactly. I'll see it over here onto the second screen and mute that bad boy until Bluey has to get pulled up.
Yeah.
But luckily, it will be a little bit more singular time, but it does give you, this is good 2 or 3 TV in the living room week. This is when it pays off outside of when you don't have control of the remote.
I've resisted that forever. I can only watch one game at a time. I only need one TV.
And hide your wires.
Yeah. Oh, hide your wires.
God forbid you have any wires showing. It'll ruin your whole life.
The whole aesthetic. Yeah.
Well, talking to my wife?
Well, she'd love to say the theory on that. No, listen, the reality is
it's just so cluttered back here.
It's so cluttered.
There's 2.
Can't we clean it out?
Things.
Well, no, maybe because not everything looks like Instagram.
Pinterest.
Listen.
Does your PlayStation need to have all of those wires sticking out of the back?
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Work.
Yes.
We are not a showroom.
Old guy moment.
How else am I going to play deal?
But you know what?
I will deal and adapt.
A lot of people relate to that. It is frustrating to try and figure out those things.
But my workaround will be my second screen will be my phone, and I'll find it on my phone and watch. And then, but it's like, watch this on Apple, and then like Apple somehow is connected to Peacock now, and you can connect those two through. It's like there's all weirdness.
Well, in one of the most frustrating things with YouTube TV, some subscribers will talk about on Talking Text Line, you can do multi-view on the TV and on your phone. You can on your laptop. Make that make some sense.
Yeah, makes no sense.
Well, listen, it all starts at 10 a.m. for me on ESPN Plus, thankfully, so that's somewhat easy to find. It's Miami, Ohio, and UMass trying to keep the dream alive. That's the first storyline.
They're minus 300 on Potawatomi Sportsbook on that money line. You jumping on it?
Man, I don't know.
We've done the cold plunge. We're awake. We are productive this morning. We're glad you're hanging out with us.
Needed that.
And we've not yet talked about the NFL free agency and more stuff that the Packers have. We will do that next. And we'll take your thoughts. 877-794-1973. Get you at NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. It's the Thursday edition of the Huddle. Grab yourself a comfortable chair and a cold or hot beverage of your choice. Settle in, and we'll rock the rivers and shake the lakes till 8 on the Huddle. Your favorite morning program back, The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. Love some audience participation today, 877-794-1973. Keep the cards and letters coming. Appreciate all of our smart, good-looking listeners getting up early with us and hanging out. We've been talking about the World Baseball Classic. USA moonwalks its way in.
Saves their bacon, did Vinny Pasquantino, those 3 bombs in Team Italy.
Fantastic.
Time for some ziti.
Time for some ziti for everybody.
Sounds great.
And then Marquette's loss in the Big East tournament. Not shocking, but it would have been nice to see them play another game and have some milkshakes, but they are done. Their time in New York is done.
You know, as a sports fan, you find a way to convince yourself that little dream that, wow, they win this one. Maybe there's a way they can win the next one, then go all the way and win it all and have a miracle run. You always have that little side inside of you, that dream. So
we're in that season where dreams are realized and dreams are dashed. Yeah. Like we got high school girls at Resch Center this week and boys reaching sectionals.
Oh, saw an Oosberg game winner last night on a video, 56-53, 3 right at the horn.
The
Big
madness of March.
Congrats,
the madness of
Dutchman.
March, as usual, as this is a college basketball month, right? March Madness. It's right in the name. March Madness. And as usual, the greedy bastards who run the NFL trying to dominate.
us.
Trying to take over the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, trying to take over the Black Friday, trying to take over Christmas Day from the NBA. And they're trying to take over March with their free agency and the frenzy that has happened this week with the start of the league year and the trades and the free agency. And the Packers, of course, shuffling the deck some more. Made an acquisition yesterday. What did we talk about yesterday? The big need for the Packers, defensive tackle. They went out and got themselves defensive tackle.
Insert another 30-plus-year-old addition as well, Drew, at defensive tackle in Javon Hargrave, who's been a force in his career, dude. I mean, he was phenomenal with that 49ers team in 23 and 24. Played his last couple of years with the Vikings, was with the Eagles for a number of years as well with Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah, that's right. So he's reunited with Jonathan Gannon, had very productive years with Jonathan Gannon. Did Jonathan Gannon recruit him here? Is that the reason? Is that can we make that connect those dots? Or he was out of the picture in Minnesota, a free agent, could have gone back to Philly?
Could have, but I think there's a clear reach out because he probably had his most productive years in 21-22 with Gannon there in Philadelphia. It was the first time that he made the Pro Bowl in 2021 with 7.5 sacks and 11 there in 22.
All right, so if he had what some are saying, and again, I don't put a lot into the Pro Football Focus stuff.
Correct, yeah, this is fun.
Year was down last year, but like we I think justifiably say that Brian Flores gets a lot out of his defense and is a mastermind. So he was. I saw some people, Vikings fans, saying he was basically a speed bump. He was their worst run defender. He's kind of like Devontae White in that he gets pressure and push against the pass, but he can't gobble up a double or triple team to make room for linebackers to make plays. Like, what is your take on that, Billy? Like you said, when he played in Philly, I remember him just making plays. And when you hear about a defensive tackle, you know, he calls himself the Gravedigger on social. Let's follow Gilbert. Let's do the lineage. Our buddy Gilbert Brown.
Yeah, he's going to be a little bit more. And I think this is going to be the interesting part, Drew, because we talk so much about how and what kind of style are the Packers going to play. Are they going to be more of a traditional 3-4 or a 4-3? No one's really embraced that much, but you do have some principles into what you kind of like body style and body size wise. He's not like an early down nose tackle, 340 pounds. They signed Jonathan Ford back, who is probably that beef
and they'll probably draft a guy that weighs 352.
One or two, I would assume. And this doesn't preclude them from taking anybody in the draft, right? Like this incentivizes you to do that with Hargrave, but he can get after the quarterback inside. And I think that's that was what they missed the absolute most when Parsons was on the field for those first 12 or odd games or so, was Wyatt was able to feast on it because he was getting interior pressure, but you weren't on the other side when Micah would force quarterbacks to step up after 2 seconds because he wins around the edge. You didn't have that other guy on third and medium, third and long to be able to take over and account for on the inside. That's Javon Hargrave.
That's him.
So I think this is more of a pass rush one. He did mention, though, Brian Flores, when he was potentially being released, or he, reposted a tweet. which is now how you throw shade potentially.
That's right.
You just repost a tweet that you're in. Kevin Seifert covers the Vikings for ESPN. He said add Jonathan Allen to the list of veteran players who'll be departing the Vikings. He was kind of wrong on this one, including Aaron Jones and Javon Hargrave, because Aaron Jones is now back with the Minnesota Vikings on a reduced salary contract, pay cut that he took with the Vikings that he didn't take with the Packers the second time. But Hargrave responds or somebody quote tweets it and said, if you're a D lineman and want to get to the quarterback, Brian Flores' system is not for you. That tweet reposted by Javon Hargrave. So there's a little bit more to they had a conflict of personal beliefs and interests, and I think interest is the bigger word.
He wasn't just a speed bump, right? He still hasn't lost his.
He's more of a pass rushing defensive tackle, but he's not a big run stuffer in first and 10 and short yardage.
And you're not going to get a perfect player at this point.
No,
you needed somebody, and maybe there's a strength or a weakness, but the
fills
reality is
plus,
he fills a need. Yeah.
Plus, and again, that's one of we talked about it yesterday, the Elton Jenkins story arc, undercovered and underregarded, is like Devontae Wyatt has been brittle.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very much so.
And I like what I see when he plays, but to me, he needs to play more.
Get
on the field more, man, because everybody who squawks in, if you've called Christian Watson injury prone and made out of glass, well, you better say something like that about Devontae Wyatt, because he's played probably
he's only played a full season in 23. He missed 3 games in 24, and then he missed 7 games here in 2025. And this is the most catastrophic injury that he's had. But this is the first year, Drew, that he was actually a starter, right? This is the first year that he was listed there instead of playing kind of behind Kenny and company. So you started to see a little bit more of it, but it was inconsistent to be on the field this year to where you got to grow from it. I think you pair him with somebody like Hargrave on third and longs. You're going to have this also doesn't make you have to put in Baron Sorrell and Lucas Van Ness on the inside in pass rush downs. You actually have more pass rush defensive tackles, where I think this, and we saw it a lot against Baltimore, depending on who you had to throw out, teams were just looking at it and saying, yeah, we'll run against that on 3rd and 6. We're not that worried to run against that on 3rd and 7. One, because we're going to play 4 downs. We're going to go for it on 4th down if it's inside of 3 yards. But what we're seeing out there is not going to have any chance against what we're trying to do offensively. We're going to run right at you. And you saw teams, especially later into the year, really take advantage of that. So I think this is, you'll still see 1 to 2 guys, though, and it potentially is early that they go in on defensive tackle in the draft.
Should we appreciate the fact that a Viking is heading east and coming to Green Bay, because the trend has been for the Vikings to willingly and with open arms welcome Packers castoffs.
Yeah, and I've been kind of distracted by Bears fans over the last year, but it's always Vikings fans in my ire and the Vikings nation and in my crosshair. So it is nice to take one of their guys and watch them try and argue away why they don't care about it. So that's always fun to watch.
During this crazy season where guys are changing teams, we always talk about in baseball, like it used to be the hot stove, and guys would always, and back in the day, not anymore, and things have changed, the calendar's been pushed back, but guys would always want to be settled and know who their new team was a couple weeks before Christmas, so they could buy all the gear and the kids could get the gear, and like they could have Christmas presents of the gear of the new team and stuff. Well, Javon Hargrave's son was the star of social media yesterday.
And at Gravedigger 97 on Instagram is where the video came from. It's pretty safe to say that young Hargrave, Javon Hargrave's son, was excited that he's going to be wearing green and gold.
Atlanta Falcons?
No.
What is it?
Cheesehead.
A Green Bay Packer?
Yes.
Let's go! Yes.
Yes.
The best is right there at the end, right as he finishes, he goes, I needed that.
Yeah, you kind of
That
missed
was
that
the
one.
best.
I needed that.
Well, this kid's
How
got personality,
about
man. I love that.
That kid is going to be a star. And it's just like, you think about that. The guy who has kids that age, that can appreciate it, are into it. I mean, how amazing would that be?
You know he's got a big old G on his chest walking into school.
That'd be like you walking into the house and say, hey, young Carson, we're no longer going to be following the Brewers. We're now a Cubs family. He'd probably want to fight you.
That's true. Well, when you're a kid, you know this, and Carson's experienced this, and it's true for all of us. You have your favorite teams, but it's super fun just to follow all the teams and the different logos and uniforms and colors, and it becomes kind of like a carnival to say, oh, what team are we going to next? And it's the team that you thought was interesting because you like their jersey or colors or whatever it is, and their logo, and it's just fun. It's almost like you're probably in like Chuck E. Cheese and you get to play all the games. It's like, oh, wow, where do the Packers next? We get to learn what that's like. And I love the energy he had, for Packers, because you don't know how kids are going to react. They might worry they're going to have to move, or they made friends or something like that, or they don't know where Green Bay is. But he's fired up, Billy. He's like you said, yeah, I need this. Yeah, I needed this.
It's also right towards the end of the school year where you are going to be able to talk quite a bit of stuff.
No, your friends. My dad's a Packer now. I don't know about Green Bay Packers.
I'm excited. I do wonder if he's going to be rocking the G going to school. I definitely hope he does for the next couple of days. But you mentioned my youngster. He would just be saying, no, Daddy, I bet on the Packers.
That's right.
Let's go. Man. Really? Yesterday, right away, we're cheering for Team Cuba. I pick Canada, Dad. I picked Canada.
Well, I told you.
Well, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means that you shut your mouth and you start cheering for who I am. So, listen, they drive the house, they drive the bus. But to be able to get that video yesterday, I think a decent amount of Packers fans that felt the same way. We'll see, Drew. I don't know if there were a lot of people that I also channeled the youngsters' energy when I read Adam Schefter's post, and I know you kind of mentioned it in there. NFL trying to figure out how we take over Blackout Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving.
It's so funny. Like it's not surprising.
I needed that.
It's not surprising at all. I knew that they keep trying to do this, and I knew really be excited. Another Wednesday game, and it's just so funny.
How do you do it logistically, though? Do those teams have to play? Do they have to play the Saturday before? Do they have to come off a bye to play on a Wednesday? You can't play Sunday and Wednesday.
Very much could come off a bye.
So it have to be coming off a bye.
It would be right near the end of the years of buys.
Or if you play on a Thursday, you could play on a Wednesday. Mm-hmm. That's a turnaround that would be acceptable.
You could play the previous Thursday, play on that Wednesday.
And then Wednesday. But so logistically, it's going to be, how do they, like, why? I mean, come on.
I knew Billy would love this. But
we know why.
We know why. Everyone's at home. Why would you not be watching ball?
Everyone's at home. It's the biggest night for bars there is.
Bar.
No one's.
It's the biggest night.
Last time you went to the bar on Wednesday night before Thanksgiving?
Not me.
Thank you.
Every year.
Okay, not me.
Right. But listen, guess what? They got TVs in bars. And I got bad news for you. People want to find a reason to go to the bar. People aren't just going to the bar to go to the bar as much anymore.
I agree, but the Maui Invitational Finals on. Usually.
Yeah, at like 3 in-the-afternoon.
I know.
Well,
the Maui on Feast Week, they screwed that thing up royally.
Listen, I mean, I'm not surprised, and it probably is going to work for them. They're gonna get viewers. People are gonna watch wherever they are. It's the NFL, and another Wednesday and another day of the calendar. That's all theirs. But I listen. I mean, I've resigned.
Not really all theirs. They're gonna play on one Wednesday. You can calm down.
Because the other one
Wednesday's the gateway drug. We're gonna give you a little taste, and then we're gonna try to
think about how amazing this 10-day stretch is. Full college football, full NFL, Monday Night Football, MACtion Tuesday night, NFL game, 3 NFL games on Thanksgiving, another college football Saturday, rivalry game on Black Friday, and NFL game. Rivalry week on Saturday, NFL slate, Monday Night Football.
Yeah. Woo! I mean, that's cool. If you got nothing else to do.
10 days, just right. Top of oh my God, that's
877-794-1973. Let's all have the energy of Javon Hargrave's son, and let's get after it. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Atlanta Falcons?
No.
What is it?
Cheesehead.
A Green Bay Packer?
Yes.
Let's go! Yes, I need this.
All right, Laura, moments ago, Javon Hargrave, released by the Minnesota Vikings, finds a new home in the division with the Green Bay Packers, a 2-year, $23 million deal, including $13 million guaranteed. So he goes from Minnesota to Green Bay, a big deal with the Packers.
Quick reaction.
Huge for Green Bay. That was a massive hole for their football team and their defense, defensive interior, defensive tackle. Very good addition. Hargrave's still a good player.
Mina, quick.
Yeah, I just love when teams make signs like this that give them a little bit more flexibility in the draft. Obviously, don't have a lot of picks either, but Dan's right. This was a huge need for Green Bay. So I do think this makes a ton of sense for them.
The panel on ESPN likes the Packers addition of Javon Hargrave. Why wouldn't they? It seems like on paper a no-brainer. The question, though, friendly members of the Huddle here on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, is who are you and what have you done with Brian Gutekunst? All these people who said he'll never sign anybody, he'll never sign anybody over 30. Here he's collecting 30-year-olds, Billy, 30-year-old, 33-year-old. Let's go. The time, maybe the window, and maybe it's the end of the era of the Packers being the youngest team in the NFL.
Well, and I think the other part of it is, Drew, like there had been a ringing conversation and a narrative that you had heard from Goody where he's like, we want to bring in consistent competition every single year. And it felt like they believed the best kind of competition you were going to get are young, unproven, unpaid, right? Kind of unmade guys in the NFL. And instead, that can work, no doubt about it. But you also do need a little bit of the guys that are still fighting to hold on to not only just the relevancy, the dominance that they had. I mean, you got former guys that were Pro Bowlers and stalwarts on teams to say, I still know that I'm a productive player and I can do that here. I think that it's a different kind of competition to bring in. And you can't just go, he talks about it being a talent acquisition as a 365 business. You can't just, there's more than one way to build a team. And I think that they've gone sometimes too far on one end of the teeter-totter.
They, there's nothing really sexy about what they do when they draft, develop, and then give the guy a second contract.
Not as exciting.
You don't get, it's like, but people like new. They want the
new
infusion.
Toy. Yep.
And they, it's not like the Packers tried to have the youngest roster, but they did. And now they're sprinkling guys in thinking maybe a little veteran leadership, maybe a little veterans might be able to help us, avoid the 5-game losing streak to end the season.
Yeah, and you also, maybe not even just the 5-game losing streak to end the season, Drew, but maybe they can slow the roll of the tidal wave and the avalanche going down the mountain that we saw a number of different times this year, where when went wrong, they did not adapt well. No. They were not good at being able to counterpunch the flow of momentum on the other side. And I think that's where experienced players, guys that have been through a lot of fires and have seen it with a lot of different organizations, you talk about it and we say it a lot on Packers OT. You got to learn how to win each year. Well, these guys have now learned how to win with like 4 or 5 different teams.
Well, yeah. And now this is the 4th year of Jordan Love as your starter.
Yep.
He's 28. It's time.
Yeah, this is the prime.
Micah Parsons is 27, 28. This is like you got your 2 guys on each side that your cornerstones. And now it's as a famous assistant coach once said on the sideline of a Super Bowl, it's time.
It is.
They are, and they're doing what needs to be done. And I know there's a lot of people who are pretty harsh on Goody, including our buddy Reegs and others who don't look at the fails. Like I happen to think he's upper echelon, does a pretty good job. But they haven't won the big one. I will allow. And now this roster construction, he's showing that it's not, everybody thinks that you can't adapt and that that's just the way he is. He's only going to draft and develop. He's never going to pay anybody, never going to go get free agents. Well, except for Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney and Hobbs and Banks. Maybe didn't work out. Banks' jury's still out. Hobbs gone. But now he's doing it. And I think he did this at the end of the Rodgers tenure too, didn't like hey, we gotta win now because Rodgers is Rodgers is running out of time. We got to win now. So he's not locked in. People want to ascribe to him that he's just tunnel vision on his way. No, it's like he's evolving and adapting.
I actually thought what his shift from the end of the Rodgers era to the start of the Jordan Love regime was one of the biggest changes you had seen anybody go through in their same position. Rarely you're able to go like full fundamental shift where they were the oldest team in football to the youngest team in football in 2 years. And I think that's where the
and they
different
did it
end
without
of the
losing
scale,
15 games.
Yeah. No, and instead they
that's like people just discount that because
and they became the youngest team in football with the oldest quarterback, I think, at the time, right? In his last year. So there was a sudden shift. I think this is where the evening out comes to, Drew, right? Where they were the oldest, now they're the youngest. Now let's see how we can try to splice it together. And I also think, like, to your point here of now let him see if he can prove it right. Because, well, he doesn't do this. Well, he never goes out and spends big. Well, they spent, as the players you mentioned, also did trade a first-round pick for the first time in 40 years. First time in 40 years the team has gone into the offseason without their first-round pick. That's a significant change. Now you got to see if it pays out and give him some time. I think the Mina point, though, of what it doesn't allow, it allows them to be really best player available in the draft.
Yeah.
It's flexible. It allows you to still just go after the guy you think, Drew, can be the best player ultimately, because you might need him in a linebacker, you might need him in corner, you might need him at tight end. Hell, with Marshawn Lloyd, you might need him at running back. You never know. You can go out and get the best player available.
Packers I don't think they're done yet.
I think they got 2 more moves in them. I think they're going to come quick.
I think so as well. We will stay tuned for that. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 jet. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we come on down to. Let's go out and kick some tail. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Send our guys after and make the play.
B right, all the way outside. Y left, fake 396 bag. D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmidt,
Oh my God, this man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
Zit, don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Welcome aboard. Those of you who've been with us, welcome back. Those of you just waking up, good morning. It's the Huddle. Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you as this, the sports buffet remains bountiful. We had a Badger hockey game last night at the Kohl Center. Didn't go well.
Did they know?
Lost 7-1 to OSU.
Dude, I felt so bad for Brian Posick on that call. When he gives the call of the seventh goal, you could just hear how perplexed he was in the call. Drew's like, and it's 7-0?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yikes.
You just
Admirals
don't
won
see
in
that happen for
overtime,
them.
though.
Yeah, much needed win for the Admirals in overtime last night. So a nice win. Their roster's depleted. A lot of guys went to Nashville. A lot of their best goal scorers, obviously. But they got a much needed 2 points last night. So that was huge.
I think Luddy sent us the Aaron Sims call of the game winner.
I can grab it.
You got to grab that, Armen, because I want to hear Aaron Sims because I love me some Aaron Sims.
All right, here we go.
One
Hold
of my
on.
favorite
1 second. I got it for you.
gentlemen.
Well, you got it first.
He's one of my favorite gentlemen, and Aaron is at the top of his game. He's like, Aaron's up there with LePay and BA. They just don't miss.
No,
they don't miss. Like big moments, they don't miss them.
And Drew, it's been like a common refrain in the city of Milwaukee and in broadcasting and radio to be like, Aaron Sims deserves an NHL job. He needs to be in the NHL. You know what? Y'all sons of missed your chance. You don't get him now.
Keep him here.
He's here now, and he's can't have him.
Mine. It's ours.
This is supposed to be my turn. Yeah. All right. So it is our turn, and it was his turn. It was his time to give the game winner last night. You heard it right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Osterling. It's Cini Anderson.
Go.
Come on, Luddy.
That's not how he said it.
No, it's not how he said it.
That's not how he said it.
It's not how he said it.
We'll get it right.
Computer froze up right there at the 3-second mark. I apologize. That was I was so excited. And then for it to just sit there at 3 seconds and just give us the absolute hold. There's not even any hold music here.
Yeah. See if Armen
I still haven't even hit pause.
Oh, man.
I've talked through this entire hold.
Buffering.
And we're not even getting the spinny wheel of death, nor like the red rings.
Yes.
You had no clue that anything was actually going wrong.
I'm on a two-factor authentication. I'm going to need a second here. Sorry, guys.
Two-factor authentication.
You're not signed in? You're at control center over there, and you're not signed into your email?
I am on a different computer, but not that it's just a long story. All right, it's a long story.
Oh, my
I was getting the
goodness.
meaning.
That kind of feels asleep at the wheel, doesn't it?
I don't know
Can we
about
see
that.
how the sausage is
Thought
made?
you had it, and we had that issue. So.
I don't know anything about that board stuff. That's one of the things that's like probably it either helped or hurt my radio career that I never learned how to push a button on the board. I can barely record something myself into Adobe Audition.
It was one of my favorite things to learn in radio was to see who in the first building that I worked in, Drew, could operate the board and who couldn't. And when Timmy Allen's the one that's driving back there and pushing the buttons and he's steering his own ship, and I got other guys walking back and saying, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
Yeah.
What Schmitty, what do I press here to get us on the air? How do I get us on the air? I have no clue. I'm like, well, listen, If that guy can figure it out, I think we all could be able to figure it out. But still waiting for at any particular point in time for this thing to fire up. I'm amazed that this never actually still.
We're done buffering now.
I got it.
We're done buffering. Let's go.
Edstrom, O'Hara, Osterley. It's Cini, Anderson, and Pouliot for Rockford. Edstrom and Cini on the center dot. Admirals defend the net to the right. Rockford to the left. Face off. And we're underway here in overtime as the puck comes to Osterley. 2-on-1 all of a sudden with O'Hara. Osterley left circle. He shoots and he scored! Jordan Osterley! 7 seconds into overtime. Jordan Osterley with the game winner over the right shoulder of Olivier Rodrigue. For Jordan Osterley, his 6th of the year, his second game winner. It snaps a 3-game losing skid for Milwaukee. It drops the magic number to 26. The Admirals win 2-1.
I like that Aaron's counting them down from 26 on the magic number.
I mean, how about that? 7 seconds in overtime. You're just setting things up. You're setting the lineup up for the first shift. And boom, 7 seconds in, Aaron Sims does not miss. And Matt LePay doesn't miss. BA doesn't miss. Lev doesn't miss.
Never.
The best.
Well done by Jordan. We're in the A last night. I mean, a lot of our guys are up in Nashville now, so we had to shuffle the
so they got that on
patches.
Velcro now, right?
Yeah,
they're not sewing it permanently. Just
right.
Velcro it and hand it off.
And nice to see him score because he was pregame giving pucks to a bunch of kids. And I don't know if that's in the budget. We have to ask Greeny and Harris about that. I don't know if that's in the budget, but I saw him giving pucks to some kids.
I love that.
Making some memories. Good to see him. He was a couple.
Better him than you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I don't have pucks. All right. A lot of these kids ask me for pucks.
Is complain about not having pucks.
If I had a nickel for every time walking around ballparks, and especially at spring training, hey, can you get me a ball? Like, no. Go to Dick's Sporting Goods. They're $15.
Right there.
What are you doing? I can't get you one. They're not mine to give away.
Asked me for a puck. I said I didn't have one. He goes, "Can I have your shirt?" I said, "Can I have your hat?" Or he said, "Can I have your hat?" I said, "Can I have your shirt?" And he looked at me confused. I said, "Well, I need my hat just like you need yours." But anyway, it was nice to see Jordan get the goal and the Admirals to get the win. A lot of times his young son is there pregame up on the glass watching his dad skate around. I don't know if that he was there yesterday, but I did see other kids and he was giving them pucks. So making memories, and you had to figure, hey, that guy made a memory and scored the winning goal. That's my favorite player now. So that's how you do it. That's how you build a fan base right there. I love seeing it.
It seems like you're talking yourself into giving away the pucks. It doesn't seem like you're a fan of giving away pucks.
So I have no problem with giving away pucks if I have them. Okay. But I don't have pucks to give away. I'm happy he's giving away pucks. I'm sure he's not worried about it. I don't know what kind of.
I don't think anybody should be as worried about it as potentially you are, but I like that.
Well, who pays for those pucks? Is it the AHL or is it every team? I don't know. I mean, I don't know who's paying for those pucks.
I think they got a good deal. I think they get them at a pretty good wholesale
Armen, your
price.
stock reply should be, "I don't have any pucks to give."
Yeah, that's a good one.
Just have that thing holstered up right there.
Out of here.
I'm out of pucks.
Yeah, get the puck out of here.
No pucks given.
Hey, I don't give a puck. No, so great to see, and the Admirals get the win. You're right. Aaron never misses, so anytime we can get a highlight, even if we have to wait a couple extra minutes.
The funniest part, Drew, is like there wasn't even the moment you said like getting settled in. There wasn't even the time for the game night staff probably to get upset about overtime. I imagine in the press box when you're scoring enough Brewers games, and all of a sudden that thing hits the 10th inning.
Yeah,
you hear the subtle groan in the press box of right about the 8th inning when the tie game comes, and you could see extra innings written all over it.
Even though it's quicker now,
it's quicker now.
There's advanced stuff because that ghost runner scores and it's an unearned run for the pitcher, but it's come on.
I was gonna say that makes it probably way harder for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's just a lot of curveballs.
A lot of deep breaths in
Let's
there.
just get it over with in 9 innings. Let's keep it to 2 hours and 20 minutes the way it was supposed to be.
And even in hockey, so it's
hockey's 2.5 hours, but a 5-minute
3-on-3. So it's gonna either end quick or go to the shootout, which will end quick. So it's not.
And they don't, except for the playoffs, they don't resurface, right? They don't Zamboni.
No, 1 minute break,
right out there.
Minute break and get it out there.
No
3-on-3.
no time for Billy and the other game hosts to get out there and do some more
fall over and do some dumb.
Like when you play extra in the playoffs, you got to have the full on Zamboni treatment, and you get the whole rest period and stuff, and then you guys could do the way they do when they go to like the 12th inning at American Family Field, do another sausage race.
Run the sausage race.
You guys could do another human hockey puck.
My favorite had always been, Drew, when does the conversation happen in the back to fire back up sports service? Like, is there any way that we can sell some water? Any way that we could sell some peanuts?
What do we have
there
left?
once it hits to like the 11th inning? Like, do we fire back up the concession stand and then by the 14th inning we hit the 7th inning rule again where they stop selling beer? Once we hit the 10th, we just restarted it.
I am a former sports service employee, And that's when the team store was under a sports service. And I do remember at least the guys that were going around with the buckets of like drinks or food or hot dogs. They had their own, they can make more commission based on what they sell.
Oh, they go rogue. Okay.
Yeah. So I always thought that if they were the grinders would be the ones to be staying out there, because they could come and go when they wanted and make it sort of like, it's like a cab driver. You start driving or end driving whenever you wanted. They could come and go as they wanted, fill up their stuff and try and sell it.
They were the earliest days of DoorDashers.
That basically. And
turn the app on and go and deliver some dogs.
My whole thing was like, if that was my role, you could outwork the other guys. You just stay out there for the extra inning games, right? That would be an idea. I don't know if it works the same way now, though. I'm talking about like 20 years ago.
That's
now.
true.
I'm an old man now, but
That's
those
true.
are good days.
NicoletLaw.com talking text line open 877-794-1973. Appreciate your participation and the comments on the YouTube, Facebook, and X streams. Feel free to hit us up. I'm wondering, boys, because life comes at you fast these days, and this, it's. I always say it comes at you. You're drinking from the fire hose, right? It's not the backyard garden hose. It's the fire hose. So it's like, what would have been the bigger debacle? The U.S. not advancing to the quarterfinals in the World Baseball Classic, the Max Crosby trade, or the controversy over Bam Adebayo scoring 83. People are going back now, and it's like, well, yeah, they were. I think what people are mad about, and what I was mad about, was that the Heat were fouling ahead to manipulate the game, and they were missing free throws to manipulate the game. But for the most part, the dude did have.
I was going to say that was the
dude had
last 8 points or whatever.
The dude had like 70 going into like the floor.
So it's like, Billy brought the point up about his great first quarter. So obviously he
Yes.
started at
43 in the first half. He had more in the first half than he had in his career.
For all the stuff that we got, the Max Crosby do-si-do.
Yeah.
Like they're back. So now he's back, like trying to make it seem like this is where I wanted to be all along. Okay.
That one, Drew, I don't know, like the day after, that one actually almost made me more upset once Eric DaCosta, the Ravens GM, took questions yesterday from the media. And he's like, you guys don't understand. Like the only person that this made was harder on than anybody else was me. Brother, don't make this about you. You're the one that got cold feet. You gave up 2 first-round picks. You realized that you did that for an injured player and then backed out at the last second. Like, it's cool. You didn't break any rules, but don't try to paint yourself like the victim in the situation.
Should they throw some shade at the Bears? Had the Bears snapped up Trey Hendrickson, we might, and then none of this would have happened, right? But the fact that Trey Hendrickson was still out there, it's like, well, wait a minute. Well, I thought that guy'd be off the board right away.
Yeah, and he's doing it.
And we can get him and not give up any picks.
And Trey Hendrickson's like, I want to make sure that first check cashes. And he's like, listen, they were actually telling me I was going to play with Max. Like they were telling me the plans. Oh, sure. I bet that was the plan after they had already flunked the physical.
Sucking up to the new bosses, man. He's sucking up to the new bosses.
For all the debacles that are going on, and it's not a debacle averted as far as the USA and the World Baseball
big time
Classic.
crisis averted.
Wasn't so much of a debacle. People just upset about Bam because of the Kobe thing that we talked about. Was it fluky? Yeah, it was totally fluky. Doubled his all-time high, but who cares? Like that's going to wash down the river.
I firmly believe there wouldn't have been any outcry if it wouldn't have been Kobe Bryant's record.
That's true.
Like if it wouldn't have been, if it would have been Charles Barkley or
James Harden
or Luka, there would have been no problems. But it was Kobe, so I think there was a lot more frustration.
Yeah, and finally, I think the drawbridge is up from the mob of the Army that was out there defending Kobe a little bit, understanding that nobody's saying Bam's better than
Nobody's
Kobe.
ever gonna take
you're right,
Kobe's
Billy.
spot.
There are certain players, and look, it's a credit to these players. Jordan, Kobe, one day it'll be LeBron, where they'll have a cadre of fans ready to mobilize at the minute anyone tries to, they think, threaten any part of their legacy. And that's what we saw yesterday with Kobe fans right away bowing up against it.
For sure.
And everyone stood down a bit on that, I think.
So for all the stuff that's distracting us right now, what in sports are we not paying enough attention to? Because I think I could make the case maybe it's like Brewers spring training. Like they're in kind of the dog days of spring training.
Yeah, there's been kind of a lull there.
But the World Baseball Classic kind of taken a lot of the spotlight away, and we're not as much geared to the day-to-day and like the injuries. Like, okay, how is Woody? How is Quinn Priester going to see a wrist specialist? How'd they let that slide all off season? Like, why is he not like more on the path to productive.
Did he go Scottie Pippen wise and just wanted to enjoy his offseason? But like, it seems like such a up in the air question. And I was reading the piece that Adam put up about Clark Lee being in the Brewers dugout, and I always love when there's a football coach blend in there.
Murph is always going to do that.
Always going to do that.
Murph loves him some college coach. Murph loves coaches. He loves college coaches. Doesn't matter. Football, rugby, lacrosse, doesn't matter.
I heard like my favorite thing I've ever in the piece where he talks about his eulogy to his friends in his phone that pass away, like Lou Holtz at the age of 89. He sends a text to the phone, knowing somebody is grabbing it, knowing somebody has the person's phone, and just says a quick goodbye and a thank you. And he's like, it's my quick eulogy to them. Makes it, seem as wholesome as possible. Then he throws in a little shy, like they would even care. like they would even care what I would have to say, but I just appreciate it.
That's so true. So what else are we not paying attention? What are we missing? We're kind of, the Bucks play the Heat tonight. Can Bam score 83?
Exhilarating.
Again?
We're definitely not paying attention to
Bucks
that right
tanking.
now.
Again, should we be paying more attention to the Bucks just on the just hedge our bet that if Giannis is gone, when's his last game at home? You're going to get one last chance to go see him. You're going to make that plunge, or have they turned you off so much that you just we're going to let it go?
Well, I had planned on going on Sunday, but apparently these internet rumors or app rumors of Snowmageddon is kind of changing that potential idea of what could happen this weekend.
Maybe that's what we're not paying attention.
Oh my goodness. And people are 30 inches of snow or 5. Who cares? I think we'll all figure it out. I think we'll all live. But to me,
what happens when you're not meteorologists anymore.
To me, it definitely would be Brewers spring training. Yeah. And even though, Drew, we're going to talk to Hunter coming up at 7, this is, you know it better than us. This is just waiting for everybody to move north season, right? The big story right now is that the Brewers have their first night exhibition games, practice under the lights and figure out how that one works.
Got to get ready to switch that body clock.
Christian Yelich is going to make a rare road game appearance under the lights. So holy cow, we got big news there. And Jet Williams hopefully coming back off a quad injury. But this is just I wonder if there would be more conversation if all of your best players were there. However, last year, I think all their best players were there. Their MVP for back-to-back seasons was coming in with a broken finger, and we just kind of learned about it then with William Contreras. So I feel like you just start unearthing more and more interesting stories throughout spring training.
And maybe that's because of the World Baseball Classic taking some of the, attention away, obviously, from spring training. I would expect that to be the case, but it sure doesn't seem like we've had any stories coming out from that, or at least storylines. So I'm glad we're talking to Hunter today to get our slice and taste of that.
A little baseball, a little touch.
Maybe the other little touch of baseball that entered the lexicon yesterday and was big news in the house. I mean, you guys want to talk about who's hot, who's not with Donovan Jorgensen heating and cooling. Dad was hot yesterday. Dad was fired up when we got the email. Been drawn for Milwaukee Banana Ball ticket lottery.
Gosh, yeah. Woo. That thing is electric, man. It really is. There are more people that want to see Banana Ball. These kids, man, love it.
Banana Ball coming to Milwaukee. Now, not the Savannah Bananas. I think we are getting the tailgaters and the party animals.
They got a league now, right?
The Banana Ball League is a league. I think they have 8 teams now after their current expansion goes on. And it's a spectacle that I'm excited to see. And this also early version of getting tickets before Live Nation kind of ruined it all, Drew. I'm into this lottery to get a spot, to get a window. But then in the window and in the email, they say, hey, just so you know, bub, this is not guaranteed that you're getting tickets. So there was a quick flutter in the stomach, some butterflies rolling through of, all right, now we got a ticket to the dance, but are we going to get a dance partner? It was intense yesterday. It was exciting.
Quite. Yeah, and I just saw a story this will be the second straight year there's no major concerts at American Family Field. We got a couple of days of Banana Ball going to draw some big crowds on off days.
Those will draw some big crowds.
Like the friendly they had a couple years ago with soccer that drew 35,000.
Now, is Jackie Bradley on one of those teams? Because I'm waiting for him to finally get some hits in American Family Field. Now, maybe this is his chance.
That was so rude.
He is on
the Indianapolis Clowns of the Banana Ball Championship League.
Cool. Yeah.
He was the number 1 overall pick.
Well, I would imagine in that level, he's probably, it'd be nice to see him travel and make his homecoming back to American Family Field.
Right.
Because they probably still have shirts to sell of him. Right. player shirt.
You're right.
I think he
877.
did all right as a World Series champion. I do think the level is okay.
I'm talking about his Brewers career. Okay.
Come on. 877-794-1973. We mentioned Hunter is going to join us after 7 o'clock. We'll talk hardcore Brewers. We got Dolph coming up for halftime. It's halftime already. Time for some orange slices. Time for some Uncrustables.
Where's
Let's
our
get
chocolate
it.
cake?
Let's go.
We're done finally.
Done finally. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
recognize that name.
And Drew, Billy, and Armen. Halftime of the Huddle, halfway through the show today, and we welcome our halftime correspondent, Scott Dolphin from the country station on the Hall, star of Stage Screen and the Shank Hall social media account.
Whoa! Yeah, how about that?
Wait, really? My favorite places feature Dolph on their social media feed.
Isn't that funny?
Shank Hall, you and your boys.
Yeah, we do, and every time we go to Shank, we put on our Shank Hall koozie on our cans. Yeah. And we were there Monday night for a show, and the bartender turned around. She goes, "Oh my God, I got to get a picture of this." We didn't realize all of our koozies were perfectly lined up at the bar.
Product placement.
She took a picture and we made the show. We made
awesome.
the page.
That is amazing. I've seen those boys before, and they're in their natural habitat.
Oh, they are, yeah.
Sitting there getting ready to watch a show, and
I think the term they used was these Shank Hall frequent flyers. I'm there a lot. Those guys are there all the time.
All the time. Yes.
It's a great place.
Several times a week.
Instagram that wasn't on their
It's on their Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. Oh,
Of course.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Glad you caught that.
That is so good.
It warmed my cockles. I got a chuckle out of that. Definitely.
How did you recognize? I was incognito. I had a hat on.
I recognize your crew, the way you guys roll. I've seen that act at Summerfest before. I've seen it. You just see it, when you roll that deep. Dolphin and his boys roll
when
deep.
you look that cool, I like how Dolph tries to act coy on it. When you're looking that cool, we're going to know exactly who it is. All right, this is a sweet shot. You are trying to blend in a little bit.
I wasn't trying to blend into the wallpaper like the guy next to me, Ross. I was
going to say he was scared or something.
Yeah, well, he's a Duke grad. They have prestige. I guess
oh my goodness! Yeah, I didn't want to see it.
Yeah.
So these are your boys.
He drink with his pinky out, because he went to Duke.
Pretty much.
I matriculated. I didn't attend. I matriculated.
He's already got him winning the Natty this year.
Oh, they're pretty good. Well, the Lehigh was chanting, "We won Duke" yesterday. After we won Patriot, we won Duke.
I love
these are your boys.
Man.
This is pretty nice. You got a group like that, man. I think
we all met them, Armen.
They roll 5 deep.
Have a connection like that. Yeah, I've met some of those guys before. Are you like? Is this like one of those groups? The girl on it says that her dad makes the schedule for the meetup, the bar meetup. He makes the itinerary.
We do have a guy that does that for us.
An itinerary, yeah.
Yeah, we all met playing softball. The gods brought us together many years ago playing softball, and we've still now we don't play softball anymore. We still golf though.
Well, and that was what I was going to ask. So who was the first one to not play, and when did the invitation ever stop? Because I was the first of the group to stop playing flag football. And there was a moment where they're like, "Hey, you can still come on Saturdays after the game." I mean, I guess if you want, you're not on the team anymore. Like maybe we go do something. Maybe we can go hang out another night. But like, was there a full sudden change for everybody?
The cool thing, Billy, was we in 2019, some of us didn't play much anymore on the team. My arm was shot. I just
started getting phased out a little bit.
So we all decided that we're going out together. So we all went out together in 2019. I think I was, well into my 50s.
That's the right way of going out. Because when you just retire it all on the sword, then it is still the same night. Yeah. And you probably could get away. Now 2020 probably interrupted some of it. You could have gotten away for 3 or 4 years saying we have softball on Monday night and gotten an extra hour and a half, 2 hours of bar time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't get you. So we still don't get cheated on the bar time. There's just no more softball.
My softball season was pretty impressive for our first couple of years. We played all the way into December.
Wow!
I think we were the only team to play into December. Now we only made it to the state. We only made it to the field until July.
How can you play?
Our season has never stopped. It was amazing.
I get it. I get it.
Good. I
thought you were legit. So one year, somebody invited me to play in a fall league down in Kenosha County in Salem, Wisconsin.
Okay.
What's up, Salem?
Mm-hmm.
And we had so many rain/snowouts. We played to Thanksgiving week, and I remember playing the outfield, and it was freaking snowing big flakes.
I love
during
that.
softball.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So sending me to Facebook to look at this post again, and then you mentioned Duke, and I don't know if it's like the phone's listening to me or what, but one of my favorite things is like the people you may know on Facebook that they recommend, and it's always like, I get like LaTroy Hawkins and like Niger Morgan, like these people, because I'm connected to writers who are connected to people. And you just mentioned Duke. And the number one guy on the people you may know is former Brewers lefty Chris Capuano.
That's awesome.
Who touches so many bases for us today because Chris Capuano was a Duke guy. And he's Italian.
Mm-hmm.
Had he been playing, he would have been playing in the World Base and probably cheering for Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also like a mucky muck, a high-ranking executive in the Players Association.
Oh,
so it's like, Cap, who I enjoyed covering. I love talking to him. He's a great dude. His bio says, defending and advancing MLB player interests, empowering them on and off the field. He's now based in New York with Players Association, went to Cathedral High School, and he's an MIT Sloan Fellows MBA program, guys. Like, almost too smart to be in a locker room.
All right,
he's a smart dude. I remember that.
I would be
a
talking.
Good guy to have in the players'
You'd go to Capuano's locker, and we'd be talking about like art or literature, and you could have like a high level conversation. And the other side of the room, guys are lighting farts on fire.
Yeah, like Curtis Liskanek.
It's like,
Don't
Curtis
panic.
Liskanek is running on a treadmill in running shoes, a jockstrap, and a Steelers helmet. And that's normal behavior.
Why panic? We have Liskanek.
Yeah, in the same room where a guy's having high level discussions about whatever.
And wasn't Dave Bush another, like, he was a Wake Forest guy?
Yeah, Dave Bush was a smart dude.
And he would like read War and Peace in the locker room and stuff like that. Yeah.
I just remember with Liskanek, I remember when the Packers won the Super Bowl and they were at a Brewers game and they were parading through and all the big stars from the Packers there. Everybody's like, hey, and shaking and hugging. Liskanek sat in his chair, turned the opposite direction with his arms crossed and would not
protested
the Green Bay Packers.
Yep. At spring training, he would pull out he had bought one of those inflatable, like a little lazy boy, like an inflatable lazy boy, like you take camping or you take to the woods, and it was a Steelers branded one. So he had the Steelers inflatable, like Barry Bonds had his massage chair and his like 4 lockers. Liskanek just had 1 locker, but he had the big inflatable lazy boy with the Steelers logo on it.
I love that.
What a weird dude that was. When Ned Yost became the Brewers manager, one of his things was he adopted something that they had in Atlanta. Like he moved the coaches out of the coaches' locker room and put them in the general population so that they could mix with the player, keep an eye on the player. Some didn't like it.
Yeah,
they thought it was like spies and pipelining and stuff. But I asked Curtis about it. What do you think about having the coaches around here? He's like, I kind of dig it. It makes me feel better about my body.
Jeez. That guy was a treat.
Next over here, and I feel like an athlete for a while.
Unbelievable.
Damn, I love these stories.
Yeah,
Drew.
Liskanek was hilarious.
The thing about him, I always said, is he had his best years in Milwaukee of his career. Curtis Liskanek, he pitched pretty well numbers wise. So
he's also one of the impressive guys to have 3 different numbers with the same team and never leave.
That's a great. That's a great point. He wore all kinds
pitched
of
in 39, 0-0, and then 33 in 2003.
Did they keep calling him up and down or keep shifting them? Why do that? I don't know why, but that's
because he's
funny.
a weird dude.
Yeah,
I was going to say
he was so weird.
It was always entertaining.
I mean, number.
The teams weren't very good, right?
No,
but
he was
fun.
entertaining.
He was, yes.
And for as bad as they were at times, they usually had a good bullpen. That was their thing. They had a good bullpen, and then they'd run out of gas. We always say they would burn through because they had such bad starters that the bullpen ate 6 innings a night. And this was before the era when guys were going 2 or 3 like they are now, where they're basically backup starters. Like the long guys now that role has changed. But they'd be burned out by July.
For the majority of my lifetime and my first watching and viewing experiences of the Brewers, it did feel like the only way you were getting. Now you had the one All-Star because everyone's going to get one, but it just depended on who the Brewers closer was that year, and that was the guy that was not going to play in the All-Star game.
Sure,
that was the guy that was going to wear the bullpen jacket all night long.
Sad but true. Until 2008 happened, and then it all changed.
And then everything changed, thank God.
Dan Manone on the text line. Did Prince Fielder end Capuano's career after roughing up in the dugout? Wrong guy, Dan.
Wrong lefty.
That was
lefty.
Yes. Nobody would be doing that to Chris Capuano in the dugout.
No, Cap was what? And
My guy.
Cap came in
winner.
and he got it, man. He was one of those dudes. He's just a really good guy, but he was either a rookie or his first year, and he was the guy like at the All-Star break that was going around, beating the drum saying, hey, taking up a collection for like the clubhouse kids and stuff to tip them at the break and stuff. He'd be that guy. Like I'm watching him. Like usually that's a 5 or 6 year guy doing his first.
That's impressive.
High level
like
consciousness. You would
shaking
say?
the trees. Yeah, he's so aware of stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, remember
mature and Duke. I used to talk to him about. He was in the tent village for Shasheskyville.
Oh, was he really?
Oh yeah,
that's
awesome. All that stuff. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, he had great conversations, like non-baseball, but plus he was really good at breaking down baseball stuff too. Like I thought he could have gotten into the media. He could have been a good analyst.
I'm glad he's doing something more important though. Like,
yeah,
that's a good point.
We need to get us labor peace, Cap.
Get us labor peace, and listen.
There's plenty of people.
Who knows what's going to happen in that Players Association? He may be running that thing in a couple of months.
Maybe he should be.
We got to keep.
From the stories we've heard, maybe he should be.
Listen, we have
There's
no idea.
plenty of people that can do broadcasting. The important stuff we need the smart guys to do. You
talk about that tent city though, man. That would kind of be, as much as I hate to admit it, with having a friend that graduated from Duke Law, but I would love to go to Cameron Indoor. That might be right up there with Fenway, which I'm sure you've been to 1,000 times, Drew. But those are places I'd love to go that I haven't been.
And not even as an addicted college basketball fan, it's one of those spots for me. Like you see I think the quaintness of it and the size.
That's the thing.
Right? It's what, 7,900 people?
Yeah,
Like,
like
fits in there?
8,000.
Like
Yeah.
a big high school field house. The broadcast crew sits on that rickety old perch up high, looking down. You get those weird angles.
The shot from pregame is one of the best ones. And also just to give the opportunity to start doing little magic fingers.
Right.
Depending on no matter where I would be, I would still be trying to throw those at the inbounder.
Yeah, go for Duke, Carolina just one time.
Yes.
Know somebody to get you in there.
Absolutely. By the way, Capuano, he won 18 games once.
Yeah, 05. Hey, well, really monster year. I always bring that up.
That's Armen's favorite stat to bring up.
Right. That and the fact that he came back to Milwaukee to end his career in like 16. Like when he hadn't been here for like 10 years, and I was so excited that he was going to come back. I was like, all right. I think he appeared in like, I don't know, 5-10 games or something like that. But
did you sell jerseys to his family when they came in first start? Or?
From what I remember, he wasn't married and stuff, so I didn't meet any of his family or anything like that. No, I didn't. But Corey Hart's family, he had a bunch of kids and stuff like that. They always had a big order, I think, if I remember that correctly. No, Chris did come in for when I was working in the store for an autograph signing, and everybody was there, and that was a lot of fun. He was a super nice guy. He was one of my favorite players. One of my first Brewers T-shirts. Like player tees that I would.
Oh, a jersey.
I would walk around with his all the time. Yeah.
Now, the greatest trade in Brewers history is and will forever be the one in like 80 that netted them Ted Simmons, Pete Vukovich, and Raleigh Fingers.
Right.
Like Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And,
they give up
and a Cy Young guy.
Sixto
Lezcano and David Green and a bunch of guys. 7-player deal. I think the second greatest trade is the one that brought Capuano over from the Diamondbacks, the Richie Sexton
for
deal.
sure. Yeah.
That brought Craig Counsell, Chad Moeller, Lyle Overbay, Jorge De La Rosa, Junior Spivey, and players to be named later for that in that deal.
And Billy was devastated.
Traded away the one guy that we had that could hit home runs. The one guy that brought me satisfaction, excitement.
So you lost Sexton, who spent a year in Arizona, then went home to Seattle. And then you lost
like 10 games.
And you lost Nucci Varner for a whole roster of starters.
The greatest home run I ever saw was Richie Sexton put one off the Pepsi logo at the top of the scoreboard one day. I'm like, oh my God.
He broke a window in the what is now X Golf too. He broke a window.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, did he hit the flagpole that used to be in center field?
Yeah, he dented the flagpole
in Houston
and got a triple out of it.
Tal's Hill.
Triple, yes.
They didn't give him a homer because there was no yellow line painted on it.
550-foot triple.
The craziest hit ever. It was my favorite part of whenever the Brewers would play in Houston.
They had the hill. That's right.
And they'd always zoom in on the one dent as to where he hit the flagpole.
So cool.
That's so
fun. Love
Absolutely. That. Oh, Brewers memories.
Now that's called Dakin Park. Dakin.
Yeah, Dakin Park.
I lost
track. Yeah, well, for whatever reason, Enron didn't stick. I don't know what
Minute Maid didn't stick.
I liked Minute Maid a lot more when they had the train up top, the oranges.
Oh, sure.
That was the right thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was fun.
Proper
that
society.
was fun, absolutely. And you were seeing it now with the baseball classic. It's,
it seems like an awesome park. That's
pretty cool.
One spot that I definitely wanted to go to. Butchie and I were right outside and could not get tickets when we were there for the Final Four.
Oh, that sucks.
Completely sold out. It was their opening day.
Kind of like this week, right? Team Mexico fans have showed up big time down there.
Huge.
40,000 every night.
Huge. I mean, the only thing that would be a bigger draw would be like the A&M spring game. They could put that.
Yeah,
there.
correct.
Like
Yes,
that's their.
I also think it's fun to be able to see Lone Depot Park in Miami actually use the fourth deck.
Wouldn't that be something?
Like, I don't know that they've ever had anybody in that terrace level. Now it's completely sold out because of the Dominican games.
Yeah, the place looks incredible, but who wants to go to summer baseball in Miami?
No one's going to those games outside of right now. That Dominican team, if you want somebody that has never watched baseball to just be excited, you have them watch that team.
7 All-Stars on that roster. Is Abner Uribe getting any?
He was their setup guy. I think he was pitching an 8th inning role for them a little bit. I tapped out in the game after Fernando Tatis Jr.'s home run and bat flip, where he didn't even pull the bat down, tossed it and in midair and started screaming into the bench. It was awesome.
I don't know which one it was, but one of the PCA homers, he pimped that like a
pimped it big
he
time.
pimped that like, oh man,
there'd be a lot of pimping,
like
which is pretty impressive. I think we were down 8-1.
Yeah.
Might not have been the time
Classic
to pimp the
Cub
homer,
stuff,
but
you know?
yeah, a little bit better when it's a shot to go up 7-3 and the place is live instead.
PCA does have a little main character energy about him.
Yeah, he's a Hollywood guy.
He's a little big league.
And
guy.
that's where
I
that's
know,
where
I
Billy's
like
in conflict because he wants the Team USA to win, but he doesn't want to cheer for Pete
I
Crow
don't
Armstrong.
want to cheer for
It's
him.
like,
I
you
don't
know.
want to.
Well, you've got to pull for your guys, though. And it's just like in hockey. You might, hate somebody. If you're a Red Wings fan, you hate
That's
the
fair.
Blackhawks. Especially against Canada, our suddenly new arch rival, hated USSR CCCP rival, and everything we do now is Canada. So that's a big one tomorrow night. You can't lose to the Canucks, man.
No, we can't do this. We can't give it right back. We can't give the tick for tack.
That would be awful.
And their roster's loaded with MLBers too.
That's true.
Yeah, they got a
Absolutely.
large portion of it. It's not exactly what we'd love to be able to see.
If Canada wins, like for one day after the Italy loss, I said no lasagna, no pizza, no spaghetti, no pasta, no nothing. I'm swearing off poutine.
Yeah.
If they win, no moose head, no Labatt's, no.
Not going to the Moose
I'm not
Lodge
getting
for a
blue,
month.
I'm not getting a blue light. I'm not. That's it. Got to draw a line somewhere.
Labatt's, man.
Moose head. Grab a moose and get loose.
No maple syrup.
I used to have a
eat
t-shirt.
around
It's from
that.
Wisconsin. There's
a
some
moose and get
Anderson. There's
loose.
some great maple
Love it.
syrups in Wisconsin.
Dolph, thank you for dropping by.
All right, boys.
Always a treat to chop it up with Scott Dolphin from the country station down the hall, FM 106 and Star Stage Screen and Shank Hall's Facebook page. Go check it out. Check out Dolph at a show. We'll be right back. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. The Huddle, Fox Sports Wisconsin, bringing it to you. Drew, Billy, and Armen, streaming live on Facebook, X, and YouTube. 877-794-1973. We're talking about heroes today, baby. Billy, you got a hero of the day for us?
Well, it should be you after the story I just heard, but this one comes to us with, listen, heavy hearts don't do it justice. This highlight is courtesy of Nick Coate, sports broadcaster, utility player for the Brown University Bears, and comes in an incredible way from Schneider Arena in one of the most gut-wrenching, difficult stories that you possibly hear. Cole Drogan lost his mother, brother, and grandfather in the Lynch Arena shooting a month ago. And this is how, as he got himself back on the ice, back with his team, and back into the playoffs. Well, not only just the playoffs, the semifinal of the Division II state championship tournament. This is how it sounded.
And can't get to the other side of the net, but here comes BVS. A break in the other way. It's Dorgan. Oh, my goodness. Colin Dorgan. A storybook ending to the semifinal. BVS wins it in double overtime. Chris Labrizzi runs onto the ice to celebrate with his team. Colin Dorgan, who's been through so much the past month. What a moment for the senior. Sends BVS to the championship game.
That is how the highlights sounded in the Rhode Island semifinal of the Division II hockey tournament. First off, elite call. Phenomenal call of the game winner. But Colin Dorgan scores the breakaway in double overtime. He told local WPRI TV, the greatest moment of my life, after his goal sent his teammates pouring out. Just to fathom losing not only your brother, your mother, your grandfather in a horrifying domestic situation that unfolded there. It was during a senior day game there in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, during his Blackstone Valley's senior day. It is just a horrendous moment, but for him to be able to bring through, not only be with his friends, for his friends to be the heroes to him in the tough moments, to be with you.
Great point, Billy.
And then for sports to still be able to get through and always prevail seemingly in the end.
Yeah.
It just a little bit of a shining moment out of a terrible situation, but it's made because that kid is an absolute warrior.
Yeah.
We're proud of Colin. He's our superhero of the day with our friends at Current Electric.
Sports is powerful. You know, I mean, sometimes we ask what the point of some of these silly games we play are. And then we see that their importance is beyond anything measurable a lot of times that we can even think of. He had to go through the grief and trauma that is unimaginable, that no human should ever, and probably most will ever have to endure. And he's doing it at a young age. And it was just wonderful to see him have that moment and see the team. You can just see how quickly his teammates were all over him, the whole bench, and the fans behind the community. We're really happy for him. Like you said, Billy, also a wonderful call. And you can see him kind of collapse with the weight of the moment, too. You can see it coming out of him after he scored. Amazing stuff. Amazing. Probably our best one we've had so far. When you talk about
that one's going to be tough to top.
Yeah, that
one's going to be tough to top. The final will be coming up next week at the Pavilion in Providence. So they go to another big arena. The coach said, biggest thing for us after the tragedy took place was to keep him together. I was with him and his sister almost every day. We as a group got together for 14 days straight. And I believe it made a difference. The bonding of this team went through over the last 2 weeks has been nothing less than superior. Yeah. And it's with those around us that we can do great things, and Current Electric can do great things to, help you out in some of your darkest times, or just brighten up your day when you need them the most. The superheroes at Current Electric are ready to assist. Go and check them out at the Realtors Home and Garden Show, March 20th through the 29th. More importantly, go to callcurrent.com. That's callcurrent.com.
Amazing. I'll be following to see if they win their state final. Hopefully so.
My stepmom and sister both worked for a time at Current Electric. Good people over there.
Awesome. Good people there.
The office is right next to Murph's where the burgers are.
Nice. Let's go.
I was going to say, now that's almost better. Back in the day when you had to go drop off the payment, you drop off the payment, go get a burger.
Go get a burger.
Good excuse to go and see mom, go see a burger, go grab a burger. That's a good one.
And you've been right about like the backyard stuff and getting stuff wired because we're living outdoors when we can because we got to take advantage of the nice summer. But the other thing, I had a buddy who used current to install his generator.
Good one.
And man, you keep your basement dry when the power goes off.
Oh, yeah.
That pays for itself.
I've been fighting with
a winner.
Yes. There's been a dimmer switch I've been fighting with. Maybe I can.
Allcurrent.com.
I need some help from them too because I got that thing where the ceiling fan doesn't work unless the light is on, and in a bedroom that's not optimal.
That can't be right. And again, like there's only levels to how much we know with electrical stuff. Our lights in our backyard actually were out. My wife goes, "Oh, this makes sense why they were out. They weren't plugged in." Like, see, I could have fixed that.
That's the extent.
I could have fixed that. That would have been
extent.
the levels to what I can help out with. They got to have covered for everything else.
Incredible. All right, plenty of ground to cover. Hunter Baumgardt's going to join us next. Talk Brewers Spring Training, World Baseball Classic, and just catch up with our buddy Hunter. He's next.
He's the hero.
We're going to break the tape strong on a Thursday. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field, then there'll be no huddle.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 jet. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we got more down to. Let's go out and kick some tape. All right? 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. You got to sit our guys after and make them play.
B right, all the way outside. Y left, fake 396 bag. D hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid.
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
And Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Welcome into the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app. Drew Olson, Billy Schmid, Armen Sarian bringing it to you. We spoke earlier about all the news that's coming at us. We had a guy score 83 points. We had a Team USA almost stumble in the World Baseball Classic as they're now moonwalking into the quarterfinals, facing Canada tomorrow. Got the Bucks imploding. We got Marquette losing last night. Badgers playing today in the Big Ten tournament. Badger hockey losing last night. Admirals winning in overtime. So much happening right now. And we asked earlier, what is the undercovered? What are we not paying enough attention to? And one of the first things we said was Brewers spring training. So let's make a move to rectify that right now by welcoming our pal Hunter Baumgardt, live from the Fortress of Solitude, joining us now in the Huddle. Hunter, how you doing?
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're good. We are good. Better now that we can talk some Brewers. So for those who have been occupied with NFL free agency and the new league year and all the stuff that the Packers are doing, Hunter, what are we missing? What's going on in Arizona? Plug us in.
Well, I think it's, there's always pitching injuries in spring training. I think right now it seems, I saw some people saying, oh my gosh, what is going on? The pitching depth is going to be tested early in the season. I'm like, compared to last year, you had 10 guys that were unavailable for this team within the first week of the season. So right now, knock on wood, you're not to that point or even close to it, right? You've got Quinn Priester, obviously. Usually there's 1 to 2 injuries in spring training that you look at and say, okay, he might be a little longer term. We'll see what Quinn gets back with the specialist in Dallas that he saw. But otherwise, Logan Henderson sounds like he's dealing with some soreness, but if all goes well today, he could be back in a game as soon as next week, which is great. And then otherwise, you are pretty much healthy. Brandon Woodruff is going to be throwing a live session here coming up tomorrow. And so hopefully he can continue to ramp up. Looks like they're going to, maybe go Cactus League game like they did on Saturday and then do a live game here and then see how things go. And maybe he progresses to opening day. We'll see. So honestly, I think the biggest question is who's going to start on opening day. The roster seems to be sure. There's maybe a couple of battles on the edges, but for the most part, it's set. So right now, I think it's a little bit of cruise control. As you mentioned earlier, Drew, it's kind of dog days of spring training.
They are doing exactly what Drew asks you to do in spring training, right? Just be 500, right?
Exactly.
Win have, lose have. Don't have any massive injuries. But also, I do wonder how much the WBC, Hunter, at least in your opinion, has kind of tamped down the viewing of spring training, the attention towards spring training, or maybe just some of the juice when Yelich gets to play in a road game. We like seeing that into a night game, but there's like 4 guys out there that are actually going to be starters because a lot of your best players are out representing nations.
Oh, I think for sure it's taken away some of the juice of spring training. I think it's taken the attention away, right? And rightfully so. The World Baseball Classic has been fun. You obviously had the storyline. Who would have thought we'd be glued to our seats watching Italy and Mexico last night? But that's what we were. And luckily, Italy was pulling away early, so you had that, and the USA somehow, some way advances. But you have that going on, and I think that is obviously, and when you have the stars playing in those games, that's what you're going to gravitate to. However, if you're in Arizona watching Brewers spring training right now, you're still getting a great opportunity to see not only the guys that'll be impacting 2026, but the guys who are impacting beyond. I mean, Madej was in the lineup again yesterday. He's been getting a lot of playing time, top 3 in at-bats when it comes to the entire Brewers squad so far in spring training. So even though he was moved to minor league camp, they still want him to get at-bats, and it's cool to see him in a lineup with Yelich or him in a lineup with Frelick, or, that's the type of thing you're still getting in spring training. But rightfully so, the World Baseball Classic is getting the attention it deserves, and the guys from the Brewers are making an impact, especially Bryce Terang.
Well, no doubt, and I'm sure you can't peel your eyes away from your chance to see the great Brewers legend Abraham Toro. I mean, with Team Canada, I'm sure that's a thing for you. So,
yes, exactly. Yeah, a Brewer of old. He along with Tyler Black and Rob Z, going to try to beat the USA coming up tomorrow night. We had USA and Canada in both the gold medal games for hockey and the Olympics. Now you get it in the quarterfinals of World Baseball Classic. Quite a couple of months for the rivalry of those two countries.
Is Andrew Fisher better served by playing in the WBC than he would be in Brewers camp?
It's possible. I mean, the level of competition, that's what you love about this. And of course, there's always the risk to injury and everything like that. But overall, you love that these guys are getting that level of competition so early in the year, because they're going to be more, I think they're going to be more ready for opening day. I mean, the guys who are in Arizona, it's still spring training. It's not the same, right? You're not playing the full game and everything like that. But guys like Joey Ortiz or Terang or Andrew Fisher, right there, they're getting those, more live at-bats, the Tyler Blacks of the world. And obviously, Terang and Ortiz likely are the only ones to make the opening day roster, but it can only help you, and especially for Fisher, who has obviously played in big games, in his college career, and then obviously now with Team Italy. What an opportunity to start some games, an opportunity last night to be in a game that means so much and have a big hit in that game last night. That guy, there's a reason he's the number 1 third base prospect right now, because that guy, he has some serious potential.
How quickly do you think that he could make it through, right? I mean, obviously that's a spot where everybody identifies in the future will be a need. It was all of the last 3 years, seemingly, especially when you send out Durbin. But being able to see a first round pick, Hunter, is different, right? Like you don't. Yeah. I don't know how many people are tuning into Biloxi Shuckers games on MLB TV. Maybe they will now that they get the package. But like, to be able to get eyes on a guy like that, I think it does do some good for their future as well in the marketing department, because otherwise you don't see a first round pick for 2 or 3 years.
Absolutely. And I think it probably helps the front office too, to see how he performs in that sort of environment. And he played, I don't know if it was about 15, 20 games with the Timber Rattlers last year. I would think he'll get to Biloxi. What he might start in Biloxi, I'm not exactly sure. And he'll, I think, rise pretty quickly. I mean, overall, minor leaguers are rising probably faster than they ever have before. So that plays into it. But it's so wild because you have just so much talent in the infield right now. And it's interesting because Madej is playing a lot of second base, which is interesting. He's not playing a ton of shortstop, especially when he was on the field with Cooper Pratt. Pratt's more the shortstop. Madej's playing second. I think the one thing, and it's been talked about, the one thing Madej has to improve on is his defense. So I do wonder how that all fits going forward. Obviously, Brock Wilken is another guy who is someone to pay attention to in that left side of the infield. Pena is another guy. So they just have so much depth there that I don't know how exactly they're going to get these guys to the major league level and in what order. But I got to think he's a first round pick. He's clearly showing a lot of potential. If he kind of rips it up in Double-A and then somehow gets to Nashville, it's going to be tempting for him to come up.
Talking to Hunter Baumgardt here on the Huddle. Drew, Billy, and Armen with you for another 51 minutes or
Come
so.
On now.
Not that you're counting. We get to talk baseball with Hunter. Hunter, another guy to watch, and it's kind of my pick to click this year, is Garrett Mitchell, who's been hitting some balls hard. And again, like, where is he ticketed, or what can he do? Does he need to go to Nashville to get in the rhythm of playing every day? Can he plug and play? Is he the starting center fielder? I know he's one of your favorites. Where are you on Garrett Mitchell right now?
Yeah, I I would like to see him as the everyday center fielder. I don't know if it happens, because we all know how much the organization and specifically Pat Murphy loves Blake Perkins. And so I think Blake Perkins makes the roster. I think Garrett Mitchell makes the roster. And I think maybe they split sometime, or, maybe Perkins comes in every 3 days. I got to think Mitchell plays more than Perkins to start the year. I think the organization realized that, look, this guy who you want to see have success at the major league level for, consistent. They've put a lot of time. They put a lot of, obviously, medical resources into him to try to get him to be the healthiest he can be. They put a lot of time into, okay, the best way to slide and the best way to dive and how can he play outfield and things like that. So they put a lot of time into Garrett Mitchell, and that's because he has a lot of potential. And like you said, a pick to click, I think it's a perfect one, because what can he do with a full season healthy? Remains to be seen. I do think that the organization wants to see him succeed, wants to see what he can do. As much as they love Blake Perkins, I do think Garrett Mitchell is, I would think he's your starting center fielder.
What else would Blake Perkins have to do, though?
Perkins
to get
against plays against lefties, right? Just that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, Perkins and Lockridge, like our friend Dobler is saying right there. Perkins is hitting well and has for a while. Lockridge, obviously they acquired last year. I don't know what the organizational commitment to him ultimately would be. But I do get it. He's a former first round pick. You want to give him an opportunity. You want to try to make right on that. I would just wonder what Blake Perkins has to do if he would end up having a chance to take that over, because defensively, he's elite, and it seems like he has a little bit of clutch factor in the bat.
Totally. And last year he struggled some with the bat for sure. And he'll be the first one to tell you that. But, he talked about one of his goals this year is to get a Gold Glove. And to do that, you obviously have to have consistent playing time. You need to be in there more often than not. So and not that they're going to go around Blake Perkins's goals, but I think overall, I think it's a platoon situation. I do see overall Garrett Mitchell maybe out of the gate getting a little more time, but as the season goes on, depending on what Garrett Mitchell does, maybe you do see Perkins more in there. I think Lockridge is, I see it's tough for like him or Baду to get into the roster right now, just because of how it breaks down and who you want. And honestly, Bowers is a guy who's obviously ripping it up in spring training and can play first base, but he can also play the outfield. And I think that spells, trouble for a guy like Lockridge or a guy like Badu, who is on the fringe of this roster, but likely won't make it just because you have that flexibility there.
Hunter, some big news in the division a couple days ago. Hunter Green was the projected ace in Cincinnati, one of the teams everyone thought I think would be a contender, or at least in the mix. And he's going to get his elbow scoped, and he's going to be out till July. So that's a significant news in the division, and maybe will shake up the way some people think about, what one of the Brewers' potential opponents could be doing this year.
Yeah, I mean, the Reds were a playoff team last year. They, clinched really late in the season. Obviously, I think they were in Milwaukee when they clinched last year to get to the postseason. So that's a team, and obviously under Terry Francona, they're a team to be reckoned with. I think they're probably, if you look at tiers in the NL Central, I think I would go Cubs and Brewers, and then probably they're like that next tier, one down. But I also think as well, they have a lot of talent. I've also wondered with the Reds, and it came kind of to fruition last year, but it's not like their record was all that great. They're maybe 6-7 games over 500 by the end of the season. But I think it's more so they have so much talent. They have a good manager. When is it all going to come together? For me, it's always been, I'll believe it when I see it with the Reds. You kind of saw it last year. Right. So you got to give them some credit there, but that's going to be a significant loss. Like you said, he's their ace. Whenever you lose an ace, it's significant, and who can take that role? I don't know if the Reds necessarily have maybe they do have the guy ready. I'm not necessarily sure that, say, Brandon Woodruff can take the Freddie Peralta role with the Brewers, right?
Sure. I think Andrew Abbott is the guy they're going to put in there now.
Yeah.
He gets pitched against the Brewers every week. Dude, he'd be a Cy Young winner.
That's wild how certain guys are like that. It's just they take them out against the Brewers, and for some reason,
you see that stash out there in that Reds jersey. I have problems. I'm nervous.
That was Suppan for many years, right, Drew? I mean, he would smoke the Brewers, smoke them, and then of course he became a Brewer, and then it was different.
And it was
like Quintana.
Great.
They kept smoking us.
And same with Quintana. He's crushed the Brewers all the time. Yeah, absolutely. Hunter, you mentioned it's the dog days, but the pace is about to quicken. This is about the time when you show up and those wheeled suitcases with the Brewers logo and guys' numbers on them start to show up in the hall, and then we start to see in the clubhouse there'll be a thing about shipping your car to Milwaukee. Those of you lucky enough to make the roster, a lot of guys don't know what to do with that. Ship their car. Like where are they going to go?
Do I have to have my buddy drive it up there?
Yeah,
It seems so far away in the horizon, but it's actually like it's the opposite of being in Vegas when the buildings seem closer than they are. We're 2 weeks from opening day. 2 weeks from right now. 2 weeks from today is the Brewers home opener with the White Sox.
Yeah, so excited. It's going to be interesting to see what they do because obviously they're done in Arizona on the 22nd, but then they have those 2 exhibition games in Milwaukee on the 23rd and 24th. Then they're off the 25th, and then they're home against the White Sox on the 26th to open the season. So I would guess that the 23rd and 24th, they could still have, the guys who are on the fringes. Right. Like what do you? Yeah, like you still have those guys. The roster decisions won't be due at that time. So there's maybe going to be more players going to Milwaukee than in years past because they have those 2 more games that don't count, and they can use those to say, okay, if there's any roster decision or pitching decision we want to make, those guys can come to Milwaukee, and then they'll have to go to Nashville, or then they'll have to go wherever they're going. So that is going to be a little extra travel built in because you have those 2 strange but true exhibition games.
Yeah.
So we don't think that there's going to be 1 or 2 days that we might get out of those days, is what I heard right there as an inquiring mind, somebody that is already circling which of those days to try to go to for, as Armen Sarian would like, the $12 ticket. We might be able to get to see some of the young stars, or is there a possibility I get to see like one at bat from a Yelich or a Frelick?
Yeah, I feel like the young stars will stay in minor league camp and they'll stay in Arizona. I would think. Like I mean, maybe some of them would come up and get them experience at American Family Field. I mean, that would be cool. You have Madej or Pratt or some of these guys to play at American Family Field, have their first taste. I'm fascinated to see how they go about that. I would think that you're right, though. I would think they'll get in at, like you said, an at bat or 2 from some of those everyday players to keep them, fine-tuned and ready. So I would think that's more likely than you would see those top prospects coming to Milwaukee, because I don't know if I would think they'll take their roster and then maybe the fringe guys to play. But you're also going to need to field the team those 2 days. And you also want to, bubble wrap certain folks at that time too.
Sure. Be careful.
So you're going to have to take a significant amount of players. So we'll see.
Those games on the Monday and Tuesday, 6:40 normal starting time for the Monday game, and then 4:10.
4:10. That one is circled.
That's the money one right there.
That's the money time start.
Yes.
That's a perfect start for the 5 a.m. workout. What are we saying on the money shot here?
What I remember about the preseason games when they have done this, and it's been a while now, but I remember they basically fielded the regular lineup and then would filter guys out. I think, except for the pitchers, because I remember Carlos Lee's first year after the big acquisition had a big homer in one of those exhibition games, and that was a really exciting taste for Brewers fans because he was the big acquisition that year. So we'll see. That will be interesting to see how they manage things, and another challenge for Pat Murphy. So.
It is. It's going to be fun. Hunter, thank you for joining us today. Appreciate it as well. Look forward to our weekly chats and more, because Hunter's going to be providing us with Brewers content throughout the championship season.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Talk to you next week.
All right.
See you, buddy.
Hunter Baumgardt.
Drew, does this time, as the writer, is this where you're like, okay, so I've written a story about that guy 14 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I should write about the backup second baseman.
But now you start the sweatshop, because everybody's, we always had those big opening day sections, you know, and you had to crank out stories for that. So the sweatshop cranks up now.
This feels like the time, like right in the middle of the 3rd week of training camp when Wayne and I were sitting up on the perch, and all of a sudden I'm like, well, Wayne, they really need Edrin Cooper to have a big year this year, huh?
He's running
there's a lot of the exact same stuff that you don't necessarily know where you're going to, and how will these guys be consistent? I don't know. We'll have to consistently see them play real games, and I'll let you know in a month.
We'll have to wait till July's over.
Hey, if you're just firing up the computer or you're just settling in at work, check out GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Learn about the services that they provide. Testosterone therapy is the big one, obviously. Peptides and vitamins, weight loss, hair loss, sports injuries, anti-aging and longevity, sexual wellness, They've got it all for you. One-stop shopping, GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Find a clinic near you. Sign up for that free, no obligation appointment. Go get a blood test. Take you 45 minutes in and out, and they can tell you whether they can help you with their services. GameDayMen'sHealth.com is the website. 877-794-1973, NicoletLaw.com. Talk and text line. You're in the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you on this Thursday in the good land. That hits you like a 2x4 between the eyes. We just talked to Hunter Baumgardt. We're 2 weeks away from opening day.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a lot of ground. It seems like a long time, but it's really not.
It's 2 weeks till opening day, and I don't know where my seat's at.
Is it the longest 2 weeks of the year, or is it the longest 2 weeks of the year is right after the last exhibition game for the Packers? The gap between training camp and the regular season.
That's the longest one, and that's the worst police blotter season. Granted, that ended up being a good one for us because it ended up being Schefter's season when we got the Micah Parsons trade this year. Generally, that is Matt LaFleur's last chance to go to the lake house, right? Like that's
pretty much
couple of days, enjoy some time off. Now, Armen's going to be mad at me if I say that because this is college basketball season, right? This is.
I mean, it is.
There's no waiting for anything
but
other
whatever.
than this.
I mean, it is championship week.
But it is
championship week. But
I am lustfully waiting for Brewers baseball. And every little taste that we've gotten of new Brewers TV, I've been a fan of. We got BA and Rock calling the game a couple of weeks ago or last week, which was phenomenal. Talk about Team Paisan.
Yeah.
Vinny Rattino, part
yes.
of the conversation, which has been good. And, they faked me out, and I thought that Sophia Minter got hit with a baseball. So, they're right at the top of their game, and the streaming service has been pretty solid. So, I'm excited. This is a little bit, though, of the hurry up and wait. This would be the worst time, though, for a radio. Would this be around the Sports Radio Olympics when we all went down to spring training and we had the 4 radio stations all there at the same time?
That was amazing.
But it was later into camp, too, I felt like.
And about this time,
we were all looking around like, is there more news? Well, they've cut most of their guys. I did get the notification a couple of days ago that we were at the 6-year anniversary of all of us realizing that we got banished to the broom closet.
You're
and then
stuck in the equipment shed.
Stuck in the equipment shed.
Things changed quickly that year.
Hey, that's Yoli Shasin's bike. He's no longer with the team. His bike was in the storage.
There. I would say this. I think it's also sneaking up a little bit on us, and you get a little more excited for opening day just because at least it feels to me that it's sooner, like a week sooner than it usually is. And I don't know if that's true.
It is.
But so it definitely feels that way. When I saw the date, I'm like, really? March 20th? It's March 27th, right?
26th.
So 26th, yeah. March 26th. I'm like, usually it feels like it doesn't start till April. So I think that's part of the reason too. And maybe you talk about, well, it's only a couple weeks away is because it usually feels like it's about 3 weeks away right now. But so I'm excited for that part of it. The fact that we're going to have MLB baseball here within the fortnight is kind of shocking to
look at you.
Yeah,
using the fortnight. All right.
Yeah, it's odd, but it is kind of shocking to actually believe right now, especially when we're supposed to get Snowmageddon and stuff. It doesn't feel like spring. So
all right, where are we on this? We're gonna have to call one of our weather friends because the app, like the Apple app, is telling you it could be like 25 inches, and everybody else is like, pump the brakes on that. We might get 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think we should call Brooke tomorrow because then you've seen a lot of the meteorologists and the prominent voices going at it and say, you shouldn't be looking at your Apple weather app. You should be, and I agree. I mean, they're using algorithms that are sort of, it's that whole, will it be rain or will it be snow? And they use an algorithm for 10
Is this
inches.
you being an anti-Apple Samsung guy?
It's not about the Samsung Apple thing. It's just in general. I mean, when you have humans, it's anti-AI. Let's put it that way. Because when you have humans analyzing the data, it's different than when you have data. All right, just coming up with their own analysis. Because I can tell you something right now. We're not getting 33 inches of snow. I'm going to guarantee that right now. We're not getting 33 inches. So people that are throwing these numbers out, I mean, it's a little bit of just, it's a little bit of edgelording.
I was going to say, what is this? So you're calling it a fish story. You're saying that every single time somebody gets their eyes on it, say, you know what? That's
right.
We're getting 25 to I inches of snow.
I believe the app says that, but I believe if you really believe that we're getting that, that's a little rage bait. Okay,
a little bit.
That's my only take, but hey, we got to be prepared for it. We're going to get something. Obviously, it's pretty clear at this point.
Yeah, I like that. I think we should. We'll tap in and we'll get some answers there. Drew, can you give us an answer to our friend? This is Steve on the talking text line that fired one at us.
I would love to. What's the question?
Good morning, guys. I've been pondering this. I know that the Brewers have Prince Fielder's son in their farm system. Do you have any update on him, or is he ever going to make the big league squad? I think that would just be awesome. Go Brewers. Now, you got to see him grow up. That probably was a moment where you said, wow, okay, I kind of feel a little bit old as he's signing a Brewers contract. But
big time. But again, like Ryan Weathers pitches for the Yankees. I saw him as a roly-poly, pear-shaped youth.
Yeah,
it's like a pear-shaped 2-year-old that his dad thought was going to play offensive line for the Tide. Now he's pitching for the Yankees. Misjudged there. Jaden Fielder, I think he's I think he's like in the number 70 on the Brewers prospect list.
Yeah.
The top 100, not in all of baseball, in the Brewers organization. So he was an undrafted free agent. He's hardworking. He's looking for a position. He started as a second baseman. Now he's been playing mostly left field, trying to find a home in the field. But he hits. And will we see him in the big leagues? Like anybody else, it's a long shot. Your last name doesn't punch your ticket.
Yep. That can get you a hat and a pair of pants and a jersey, and then it ultimately is
rookie ball. Yeah,
right. You get a chip and a chair, and you hope that you have a chance. I think it's a great story. It would be a phenomenal story if he was a big leaguer and he made it all the way there.
That'd be incredible.
But every single time though that you do get the grainy video, or now it's a 4K video from somebody of him in a batting cage, he does swing just like his pops. He does have the swing and the stroke just like Prince.
It is pretty wild. He was in the Arizona Complex League. That's what they call the rookie level affiliate. His numbers were pretty good. I'm looking at him now, 870 OPS. He slugged and he hit 268, so not too bad. But obviously, like you guys said, that's way levels below. He has a long way to go. He's 21 years old, so we'll see. You never want to give up on a dream.
Will he? There's one of those things where will they bring him north and let him play in the exhibition game just to get
that would be a good one. I like that. Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
They should market it first so people.
They should definitely tell us that it's happening and let us know that Prince is coming too.
Right.
When he's an undrafted free agent, now you hear that in football. Hey, shout out Yosh Nijman, undrafted free agent, calling it quits. Age of 30, former Packer, retired.
7 years of getting a check.
7 years of playing ball, $13 million in career earnings.
Nice career.
So good if you can get it. And hopefully, works out well for him. We're proud of that. There's not a whole lot of undrafted rookies in baseball, right? Like that happened after they've continually shrunk down the draft, and has that affected because of how many minor league teams they ended up cutting? Or
they end up cutting those, but they'll grab guys out of independent leagues too. So it's kind of the draft is short, so there might be more undrafted free agents.
That's when I saw it. I was like, that's a new deal. I wouldn't have thought you're having much of a chance, but as long as you continue, like you said, continue to develop, give yourself an opportunity. But they're going to grab a lot of guys. I would assume Doc Hounds is another way of continuing to grow in the independents and stuff. So hopefully that'd be awesome if he did make it.
Doc Hounds is a great second chance thing for guys or guys who I got over the Tommy John and I picked up 5 miles an hour, or I've discovered a new grip for my slider and started to dive and boom, here we go. There's a good second chance thing.
Yeah.
Leagues like that. But
that's one of my favorite things about talking with Wags is when he knows somebody is a tinker away from being able to get themselves back in there in the second chance league.
Well, it's very funny because back in the day when I was caddying for Bob McGinn and I was doing double duty in the summer, I was covering the Mustangs beat for just a couple games, and then I was pulled from that, and then I was up in Green Bay. I remember asking Ron Wolf, "Do you guys scout the Arena League?" That'd be nice, young man. No, we don't have the inkling to scout. He just thought it was a garbage league, it'd be like asking Matt Arnold if he was going to go over to Wick Field and watch the Thursday night softball men's classic league to see if there's anybody you wanted. No. But then they started to sign guys out of that, and then it became kind of they had it under their domain for a while, right? The Arena League,
100%.
And then they started to sign guys.
Yeah,
and it was so funny because at the time here I was I was just watching this indoor football league, and Lou Saban was the first coach.
That's funny.
Of the
that's sweet young man. No, those boys aren't playing real football.
Those guys are not on our radar. We have no use for those arena. It'd be like asking, John Horst if he's going to the wide. Scout the noon run.
Coach, good
shirts
good
and
ball
skins.
at men's league over here.
Shirts and skins on the noon run. But
there were some electric nights at the Bradley Center watching the Mustangs, man.
Yeah.
Electric.
I dug up a Milwaukee Mustangs jersey that I had in the collection yesterday.
I mean,
last week.
They did everything right marketing wise. They went purple and teal. And if you weren't going purple and teal in the 90s, you weren't doing it right. So basically, they went straight 90s with it. The logo and it was cool. It was fun to go to.
Sadly, the Milwaukee Iron didn't have the last.
Didn't have that. No.
The Bone Crushers. All right.
Billy, who do we got for who's hot and who's not today? We talked about Donovan Jorgensen earlier, but we got to give this the full ride.
Yes, Donovan Jorgensen, heating and cooling, 40 years plus in business. Wisconsin people, Wisconsin-owned company. They're the people you should be trusting with all of your HVAC needs. And also, you should go and try to check out and find out how you can get a part of their 60-month 0% interest deal going on select systems. DonovanJorgensen.com. Well, who's hot? Vinny Pasquantino, Drew, I don't know that a whole lot of people are familiar with his game as the first baseman and designated hitter of your Kansas City Royals, but I don't know that the young man in his 4 years in the big leagues has had a pop and a celebration, even though he hit 32 bombs last year, like he did last night. This courtesy of MLB on Fox and our friend JP Morosi with the interview with Captain Italia and Vinny Pasquantino last night after the win for Team Italy.
How you feeling? I'm caffeinated. I'm beamed up right now. So we're in a good spot.
We're beamed up. Now, I don't know necessarily you other listeners will hear that and say, what on earth is he talking about?
I'm beamed up.
Highly caffeinated. They're taking shots of espresso every single time he hits a homer.
I'm definitely using that at some point in some coffee shop.
That is such an old school baseball
up.
Term. Beamed up. That's like the opposite of that is playing naked. Without beans,
yes.
Without any.
I didn't realize that. I just thought he meant the coffee, Well,
so. Bean is.
I was glad that was exactly what I thought it was. I thought there would be an old school tag into that, and there would be some guys in the 70s and 80s that would give a good tip
of coffee. The amphetamines, yes, I drank from the leaded pot.
And he is sitting back. Now, granted, they had to do a little role reversal because Vinny's been the guy at the end of the Italian dugout who's been firing up the Nespresso machine. Every single time somebody hits a dinger, he cheers them, gives them the double kiss, and get yourself on going after you hit a long ball. A little role reversal. My man hit 3 bombs last night.
I know.
He then goes, I've never hit 3 homers in a game. That was cool.
Yeah.
that was kind of fun. 3 homers, and also to be able to celebrate and give a little bit of enjoyment to those Italian or to the American players. He had a message for the Americans last night.
Those espresso pods are now on order. As many as we need, we'll make it happen. So that was unbelievable, huh? You're welcome, USA. We were thinking of you guys over at your hotel. We were thinking of you guys, so I'm glad you guys could join us in the party.
Glad you guys can join us in the party. Now, I don't know if it was just the party in the quarterfinals or if it was a party that they were going to be having after because they're all down there still in Houston.
They've been really good, this team in Italy. Do you think anyone in the country of Italy cares? I'm so curious about this. I'm thinking about this all the time. Like, are they like actually getting into this? Like, look, our flag, like they're playing well. We should be cheering for them. Do you think they're aware? Do you think they care? I'm so curious to know these things.
I bet baseball fans are right. Kids that they grew up watching, but I also think it's probably a lot more Italian American.
Right. That's what it is. Yeah. And that's the thing about the WBC. That's okay. I'm just asking. I'm not trying to make any commentary about it. I'm just asking.
Thanks to
just throwing it out there.
So
Donovan Jorgensen.
The mountains of Sicily watching this team. I'd like to know,
but were they, hey, Vinny, were they actually at the hotel or were they at Treasures or Club
I was going to say,
yeah.
Join them in the party, Drew. I thought they were all under the James Harden jersey.
The James Harden, yeah. Oh, my goodness.
They're all enjoying it. Who's hot, who's not? It's an easy choice. Donovan Jorgensen, Heating and Cooling, largest employee-owned HVAC company in the state, DonovanJorgensen.com for more information. Who's not? I'm right now, Drew, going to say a lot of Minnesota Viking fans potentially get that or maybe it's just the conversation around it. They don't have a new quarterback, even though we're already having people ask how many games are the Vikings going to win with Kyler Murray as their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
What am I missing here? Has he already signed? Did they announce something overnight that we missed?
And now they're looking ahead. Are the Eagles the best fit for Max Crosby? Everybody just said they're singing Kumbaya in Vegas. He's working out at the complex. He's back. He's a Raider for life. I want to retire a Raider.
They just ignore reality sometimes. We know that. They just ignore what's going on.
Absolutely true. Our friends at orthowisconsin.com are there for your orthopedic associates of Wisconsin. I will celebrate on April 8th, the 2-year anniversary of my hip replacement. ASAP. If you have any maladies or sports injuries or nagging problems, orthowisconsin.com, orthopedic associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. All right, when we come back, closing ceremonies already on the Thursday edition. Time flies when you're having a good time. Got a wake and bake story on tap for you as well. Still time for you to squeeze in your thoughts on what we've been chatting about today. We've covered the gamut. It's been wild. So hit us up, 877-794-1973. It's The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you on the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, iHeartRadio app, of course. That reminds me, the talkback function there, you can hit that microphone, leave us a voice message if you'd like. We can play those. Some people are like, why don't you guys take more calls? It's like, why don't you call more?
Yeah, call. We're here for you. We're ready
here
for
5
you.
and 8. The phones work. I mean,
love to hear
Armen's
from you.
ready to screen calls.
I'm ready to go. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to get up at 5:30, Thomas and Lacrosse always does it. You can too.
But people like to text these days.
Yeah,
like when's the last time you took a call and actually talked to somebody? I talked to my pops for like 20 minutes the other day. Other than that, you look at your call register, it's spam calls and like just text.
Anything that has been important, I have had to call back because I am probably the worst human being on answering the phone, other than my mom and dad. And I definitely miss some of their calls too.
Sure.
Those are the important ones. But the text line does work, like our friend Tony in Oak Creek. Armen,
I know what he's going to say.
Do they care in Italy? Well, the prime minister brought the team up in his speech to parliament after beating the U.S.
He brought it up. I mean, I'm not saying, the government's going to bring it up and they'll make official whatever, but I mean, are they going crazy right now on the streets of Florence? I don't know.
The Pope's a White Sox fan.
Yeah, are they going crazy on the streets of, I don't know, Kansas City for the World Baseball Classic? We're all watching it, but it's not like it's the greatest thing.
They're watching baseball. They're more. That's all I'm surprised. I'm impressed, though. Tony didn't do what other 608 did, make a Marquette joke because their season's over. I expected Tony because Tony likes to make the Marquette jokes. So I'm going to give full credit to Tony in Oak Creek on that for showing some some deference there. You didn't make the Marquette joke. You didn't go over the trope. I appreciate you, buddy. Yeah. And 608. I know Marquette season's over. We had nothing to watch. Good one.
All right.
Good one.
Time for a little wake and bake story. Even though we're ready to wrap up for the day, there are people just waking up. And our Wake and Bake segment is brought to us by happyplacehemp.com. Our pals right there in Muskego, Rob and Chris, making the best CBD products you'll find anywhere, and they ship everywhere in the state. It's legal, it's local, it's wonderful. And if you use the code HUDDLE, you get 25% off your purchase and free shipping. These guys ship so fast that if you order today, man, you might be opening a package on Saturday. That's how quick they are.
Quickly, and we always say it locally, Drew. They also ship across the states, right? Like I got some friends wherever it's legal, they will send it to you. In what a lot of people are excited to say is discreet packaging. Yeah. But when you get those Drift gummies and also the Drift seltzers,
giddy up.
Now that it is like full on grilling season, once this all clears out and the snow melts from this weekend, we're hoping to get some people on to calm down the nervousness tomorrow about the snow this weekend. Those Drift seltzers are the best because you start it when you start the grill.
That's perfect. Yep.
And then right by the time dinner rolls around, you're drifting straight into some happiness.
Absolutely.
And all of that you definitely cooked perfectly because you have a thermometer in there and you're not just
no shame in the game now because of our hours and stuff. Like 4 o'clock hits, grab me a Drift seltzer.
Amen. Yes.
And so, it's not as many calories as my beloved Miller High Life. It's fantastic. Great alternative.
Dude,
great to mix it in.
And also I like the way that they say it too. It's be the life of the party without the hangover because it's the most true part of it.
So true.
It's so true. You just don't have that part to deal with the next day.
And a couple weeks ago, I had a very, a celebratory Friday night, just impromptu.
Yeah.
And Saturday morning, I was reminded of just a raging hangover. I hadn't had one of those since I was in the shoes you guys are in when you have a young kid and you go out and you hit it hard and then they're up at 6 a.m.
Nothing worse, dude.
And I got up at 6 because that's the way we're wired now.
Sure.
And I felt like I had been 15 rounds, man, with bad bull. 15, boom, like
and nothing then is worse than when you try to sit up and you feel like your whole head just like rattled
my
back
whole
and
day.
forth.
I was foggy the whole day. So highly recommend Drift Seltzer and all the Happy Place Hemp.com products. Use the code HUDDLE for 25% off and free shipping. Billy, what do you got for us? What do you got?
Well, listen, there's a lot of things that make you pause and question. I think the number one thing is 30 inches of snow would be the wake and bake. Let's calm down. We're not getting 30 inches of snow, as our friend Armen did say right there.
Getting 30, guys.
They're talking about like
inches,
20 inches in the band like Appleton, Green Bay, Fox Valley.
Yeah, they'll get some inches.
We're going to get some inches, no doubt about it. But I mean, listen, it's like a fish story. But the wake and bake story is, if you haven't seen it, this young man posted the video of maybe one of the greatest performers of our generation.
Oh, I'm trying to think who that is. One of the greatest performers of our generation.
Took center stage at the United Center yesterday.
Oh, Oh, of course.
Red
Yes,
Panda.
Red Panda, yes.
And my man posted the POV video. Now, this one is safe for work. This POV is safe for work.
That's good to know. Okay.
That he is the guy throwing the bowls to Red Panda.
Yeah, you never think about that person, do you? You think about her exploits.
First off, beautiful precision by my man. Great tosses here on the 3-bowl, 4-bowl, 5-bowl. But Drew, I've always thought it had to have been a true drift off into happiness moment while you're sitting there in your living room, riding a unicycle or maybe in your backyard, and said, you know what I really should do? Flip bowls on my head while I do this.
And be the best in the world.
The best in the world.
The best in the world.
And potentially the most entertaining individual I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, I do know she misses. I do know there's times where she will have a slip up. Apparently, she broke her wrist because somebody didn't clean the floor.
That's right.
Hey, they robbed her once. Remember
I
they
know,
stole
yeah.
her thing once?
They
And the
took her-
Warriors paid for her new bike?
Yes, took her unicycle.
So she's
So, like-
a target. She's had to deal with a lot of adversity now.
But she has always risen above everything else. But it always has felt like to me that at some point you had to be sitting in there with your friends with some Happy Place hemp using promo code Huddle to get 25% off and free shipping. When you say, you know what I think I could do? I could flip bowls on my head and ride around on a unicycle and be the coolest halftime show ever. Or I'll have my dog run up and down my leg when I hold it up in the air, and then I'll flip a ball up to him and he'll balance it on his nose. Like the halftime performer is one of the minds that I've always wanted to investigate. When they donate brains to science, let's have it be one of that, because that has got to be one of the greatest unearthings that this is going to be a money-making talent for me, not just a cool party trick.
Let's get into the quick change thing.
Quick
Is
change
that a
is
family
another
business?
big one. That's
Quick
gotta
change.
be. Like you
up
get
there.
bored
That
into
husband
that.
and wife was unreal.
You just get bored into that. Like you're gonna learn to quick change now. You're 5 years old.
All we're going to do is swing around, and you're going to be in a blue dress. Then you're going to jump up here, and you're going to be in a red dress. And all of a sudden, now I'm in a tuxedo, and I'm in my swimsuit. How did that happen?
All right.
Or Happy Place now.
Tomorrow on the program, we'll catch up with Matt LePay. Badgers playing an afternoon game. Perfect for us. We'll have to have a drift seltzer and watch the Badgers play.
I'm drifting right into Butchie.
Drifting into Butchie.
That's call.
That's right. We'll be with you tomorrow at 5, talking Badgers, talking WBC, previewing USA and Canada, and just chopping it up on the last day of the week. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you at 5 a.m.
Peace.